Welcome everyone to another unplanned weekend stream. I told you we'd be doing a lot of these just because Puppy happens to be napping right now, so it seems like no time but the present to go ahead and do this. I had a lovely donation to the stream, I guess, incoming, but because of it, we've had a special request for me to walk through my Neopets dailies. Yes, I do still play Neopets. Honestly, not as much as I used to, but more than none. And things have recently changed in Neopets. With Flash disappearing, which was primarily the majority of the site, they kind of revamped all of it. So it looks even stranger than it did after the last two iterations of changes. Long story short, we're going to go through and I will take you through my Neopets dailies. So hope you enjoy. This is what you wanted. But for now, I invite you to step into the Aether, kick back, relax, because we're going to let chaos reign. I don't know how much chaos we're going to be able to find in Neopets specifically, but we might go out of our way to try a couple things. You know what? I think I remember a few bits of chaos. I think I do. We'll find it. Also, something exciting, I now believe I have alerts set up properly on the channel. So they might be coming through as we go if we get any follows or subscriptions or any donations. Bits are not available to be used just yet because apparently you have to be a Twitch affiliate in order to have somebody use bits. So while I appreciate any attempts to use them right now, if you do feel the urge to donate to the channel, then we will go ahead and have to, just do a straight donation, which I may have forgotten to set up as well. But I spent the majority of the morning, besides taking care of Puppy, going through and like setting up my stream deck a little bit more, figuring out the alerts. So there's some production in there, and maybe we'll pause at moments in the stream here to see if we can get things set up a little bit better to actually make the donations possible. One thing I'm confused about, my stream deck keeps changing the buttons on it. I don't really know why. Oh, does it change it when I have it? Oh, I think I understand. Okay, no big deal. For now, let's get on over to Neopets. Everybody's favorite. Nostalgic. I started playing this, I want to say, when it first came out. So like in the early 2000s. I had an original account. And yeah, so 1999. It actually has it listed on the bottom of the page. So 1999. I think I started playing in 2000 initially. And these were back on the old, lovely, large computers that took forever to boot up and would, occasionally crash just trying to load some of the games. The Mirka chase was a pain in the butt, but I loved it. And I was going along, and what I was doing is I was playing at an after-school program because we didn't really have a computer at home that had reliable internet at that time. Back in the days of dial-up, woohoo! But I would play because our school, where I would stay for this like after school program, because my parents would get out of work late, so I'd stay there until they could pick me up. Kind of like advanced daycare, but for fourth graders through like sixth graders and stuff. Anyways, I there and I play in there, but me being, I don't know, what would that be, 10 years old at the time, didn't really appreciate the concept of logging in or logging out of your account. And back then they didn't exactly have it set up so that people really understood how that worked. So you would occasionally just have random accounts. Like you could log into multiple accounts, and depending upon the page that you're on, it might give you a random account. So long story short, my old account ended up getting not hacked because I never really logged out of it, but people used all the money and the Neo points on it and transferred pets away and items and stuff because that's just what you could do. So I ended up making a new account and kind of built it up from there over the years. And now most of the things that I do are just kind of checking in daily to do the little things. But every once in a while, if there's like a large plot or a war that goes on, I'll participate in that. But yeah, we'll see what it's looking like today. So this is the new Neopets layout, or at least this is what happened when I initially logged in. It looks very bizarre, and both of my pets look very, very sad. They may be hungry. I don't remember the last time I fed them. Usually, I put them in something called a Neo Lodge, like a hotel, uh, and then they get fed, and I don't have to worry about feeding them. Because the nice thing is as far as I know, they still can't technically die. They just are really depressed and starving looking if you don't attend to them for a while. So they just guilt trip you into coming back to the game essentially. So let's see. My main one I'm going to pick is Moose over here because when you get something called fairy quests that can randomly increase certain stats of your pet for the battle dome, it favors your active pet. So while Halakimos over here was my pride and joy, it took forever to get this because this is technically a drake that's painted a color known as Moroccan. You can customize their colors and everything, and as you can see, Moose over here is actually wearing a Christmas outfit. You can give them clothes too. But very very expensive back when I got it. I think it was like 3 million Neo points to get a potion to morph my current pet into a drake, which is like their version, like the only dragon based pet, the only real cool dragon based pet in my opinion, from Neopets, and then another 3 or 4 million for what they call paintbrush, a Moroccan paintbrush, to then change its color into what you see now, so it kind of looks like an undersea dragon. But anyways, like I said, we're gonna use Moose. It's giving me options here. I mean, you can see his health is very large. I shot him with a lab ray a lot, if you know what that is, the secret lab ray, in order to get his stats up to where they are now. You can either customize, read, feed, play, equip, heal, groom, take photo. Okay, so he's the active one. Great. Oh, she. My mistake. She. Moose is a she. Is the active one. Maybe this is just the front page now, and I don't have to select a pet. What do I do? Oh, okay. Pulling up the sidebar over here. Create a pet, adopt a pet, customize my profile, inventory, Neomail. I'm not going to. Well, I guess I can go to my profile. I don't really mind if you guys see my username here. In case you want to send me Neo friend requests, that's totally fine, honestly. I mean, we can go through. We could see how long this is. Okay, so this is back to the most recent iteration of the game, and as you can see, or the recent interface, this account, 18 years old. Started playing January 3rd, 2003. That's when I made the new account. So actually, we're only a few days past it turning 18 exactly. Let's go down here. We'll see some of the site event trophies. That's a plot that I kind of missed out on. So I only had a couple of points from it, but then a lot of these other ones are actually pretty darn good, up in gold and stuff. It almost looks like that I put some effort into this. Don't tell anyone. I mean, I guess now that it's out there live to the world, you all know, but you know what? I don't care. Judge me if you will. Do what you like. Have fun with your life. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as you're not hurting other people, who cares what you like? But yeah, pretty good trophies. One of the ones that I'm the most proud of, I think, is probably which one was it? It was it's either this one, so the NeoQuest 2 champion. In order to get gold, it's an RPG, like a click based game that you turn based game that you really have to work towards, and you have to get gold. You have to go through the entire game and beat all the bosses without dying once. And if you do, it completely resets. So that takes a lot of time and effort in order to do that successfully. So let's try that one. But then also, I think this one was like my most successful plot that I was a part of, Savior of the Fairies. Which, if you don't know what that means, it means nothing to you. But for Neopets' sake, there's a place called Fairyland, and I don't even know if we can see it right now. Yeah, see, so the map of Neopets is kind of gone at the moment because Flash is gone. There used to be like a big world here that would show you can click on stuff, but Fairyland was on this cloud in the middle of the world, and in this plot there was an evil sorceress that came in and knocked it out of the sky. So we had to kind of try to defend and save the fairy. So Fairyland on the ground, but it looks like none of the images are up. You can click on the different things to get to things, but I mean, for example, Well, maybe if I go to Fairy City, is it going to show the secret tower here? This is clickable things. It does not appear so. So the secret tower is a secret tower. Hard to believe. Where they sell really expensive items that are supposedly owned by like the Queen Fairy. But they I guess you'd have to go to the URL directly in order to do it. So the funny thing is so I think it's Jumpstart is the company that owns Neopets right now. They bought it out from what we used to call TNT, the Neopets team. And they said they're going to make all these improvements, everything. It's not like they were surprised by Flash disappearing at the end of this. I mean, goodness knows I received 10 alerts a day anytime I turned on my computer saying, by the way, December 31st, 2020, Flash is going away. So it's kind of surprising that they were so ill prepared, don't have like mock-ups for all this stuff ready for a non-Flash based environment other than just clicking through these, because honestly part of the fun was seeing the world and seeing the art. But maybe they're working on it behind the games, and hopefully the community is not just completely dying, because I still think it's incredibly nostalgic and fun. But yeah, anytime I explore, there's nothing. Just lovely click page with all these descriptions. Okay, so let's go down to the dailies. So for my dailies, I always use a website called jellyneo.net. And this is just a third-party site that some people put together in order to tackle all things Neopets. Like they have their own events. They have their own contests that are related. It's a community that you can be a part of as well. I'm not really a part of it. I just use their resources that they developed to make it easier to get through your dailies quicker. But the end of Flash to-dos. So you can see all these things that are no longer available. And apparently you can re-enable Flash in your web browser. Check out our guide to re-enable it. So, but I really hope that they're actually just going to take the time and do this properly and just revamp the site. Because I mean they bought it. They should have planned for this. Hey, it's what it is. But over here, if we go down to your dailies tab, we have a lovely list of things that you can do each and every day, sometimes multiple times a day. They split it up between things that are free, scratch cards, which cost a little bit of money, but you can win some money, right? Popular games, a little bit of Neo points or a little NP required. So it costs a few Neo points to do these things, but again, you could have potential to win some money. And you can do quests and random other places, and then the wheels. So the wheels is where chaos will probably come into effect, but there's also one or two things here that will also instill some chaos for us. So first things first, I kind of just go through, let's do anchor management. So anchor management, at long last, Croc Island has been restored and is now better than ever. All the effort that went into putting the island back together must be preserved, though. Are you up to the task of keeping away threats to the island's infrastructure? And we got this gigantic squid here that's trying to attack the island. So there be lurking in these waters, particularly of the tentacle-having variety. Or there be danger lurking in these waters. It's up to you to be protected the ropes and the anchors that keep the newly restored Croc Island in place and in one piece. So if you spot something behind the rocks under some seaweed, that might be opposing thread. They didn't even proofread this. Posing a thread. It's gonna do some sewing for the island. Yep, this squid. I mean, all those arms. It's probably decent at knitting or something, right? But posing a thread to our beloved island, then by all means, let him have it. What? Do you see something in the sea? So we can fire our flea. Well, I'm not fleeing. I'm here to protect Croc Island, even though apparently mostly protecting it from knitting projects. But can't make money that way. A magnificent shot. The last you'll be seeing of that one. The Kraken. Instead of Kraken, Kraken, because Croc is Croc Island. Leaves behind forgotten shore map piece. Meh. Doesn't mean a lot to me. You can sell. It's an item that you can sell to get to a different daily. Apple bobbing. I don't usually do. Bank interest. Definitely got to do. So this is the part where you're going to kind of see that I've been playing this a little too long. maybe not too long, but I've done things in this game that allow me to, have grown my investments just a little bit. Because I have 90 million Neopoints. And my daily interest is 30,000 Neopoints. My personal goal right now, because it's like, oh, what are you going to do with all those Neopoints? My personal goal is to eventually get to a daily interest rate of 100,000 Neopoints. Once I get to that, there's a certain wheel that I can play down here called the Wheel of Extravagance that costs 100,000 Neopoints a day to play. So if I can just do that every day with bank interest, I can get, no qualms, no worries. But even for me, if I was spending 100,000 Neopoints a day on the Wheel of Extravagance, this would, deteriorate rather quickly. But gotta make sure to collect the interest every day. 12%, 12.5% interest rate per year. That's a pretty darn good interest rate to have. All right. Let's go back up. Our next daily is Cult Sand Shrine. We're going to go over into the desert. And in the desert, we will approach the shrine. Moose says, after this, we should go and get a smoothie. Well, I mean, yeah. Ooh, I see why, because Moose is dying. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's been a little while since I fed these buggers. I must not have ad blocker turned on, so I apologize if any of this coming. Can I app extension? I might need to put ad blocker on this computer. That could be the issue. So I apologize if any of these things come up. All right. Well, now we know something we need to do is put ad blocker on this computer. Totally fine. Mrs. Aetherplasm is just telling me that she hasn't needed it, so apparently she's not cool enough to go on Neopets and have all these atrocious ads shoved in her face. So just pretend you don't see them. I'm not making money off of this video anyways because I'm not a Twitch affiliate, so I'm not too worried about it. But just know I didn't put them there. So Colt Sands Ghost says, I hope this helps. You find a doubloon lying in the sand. 1 doubloon coin. Fair enough. Thank you, Colt Sands. While I'm here, I'm going to do Trudy's Surprise if it'll let me. The little slot machine, and the benefit of this slot machine is you win by losing, so you can never actually win. It never actually hits a jackpot, but if you do it sequentially, the amount that you take away each day goes up to the point where if you do it every day for a month, the last day of the month you will get 100,000 Neopoints. So it is beneficial to check in and do that each time that you think of it. Once a day only, though. Like I said, theme is dailies for today. Let's see. I usually skip the council chamber, the daily puzzle, the dark cave. It's much too dark in here to see. You better find an appropriate light source. Otherwise, you'd be doomed to spend your days stumbling in the dark. Oh. I think this one's flash-based. Because it used to be that if you click this, there'd be a ferocious pterodactyl that would come out and scare you. I thought it was going to be good for chaos for the channel, but you know what? I guess the chaos we find here is that the pterodactyl is sleeping. Murphy's Law and whatnot. Everything that can't go wrong will go wrong. Hold on. You're about to leave the beta for a less mobile-friendly lands of Neopia. Are you sure? Sure? Is that what that button does? Gonna let me see the dark cave? Nope. Nope. Oh, wait, I remember the Dark Cave. Oh, that's something different. Okay, no. That was... The Dark Cave is when they've discovered a land called Maltara. That's why they're talking about the Maltara caves here. You got to collect glowworms and put them in a lantern, and then the lantern will provide you light, and then you can use the light to find items in the Dark Cave. Okay, so I just misremember what that was. Like I said, I don't usually do the Dark Cave. Deadly Dice we can't do because you can only do it between 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. Neopets Central Time, or Neopets Standard Time, which is actually based out of California, so that would be 3 a.m.-ish my time. Not doing that. Deserted Tomb, though. Now this one could be good, could be bad. But deep within the ruins of Garaptaku lies a tomb that has been deserted for eons. No one knows for sure what lurks inside, but rumors have spread across Mystery Island. Most warn of the creatures said to inhabit the room. They say that if you value your life, best to stay away. But others tell of a massive treasure left under the protection of the tomb's many traps. You can get past these traps, Neopets by the ton, and artifacts like you've never seen are said to be scattered throughout the tomb. So far, though, those who have entered to seek such a treasure have yet to return. What about you? You've been standing at the door of this tomb for a while now. Are you brave enough to open it? Go on. It's just a door, right? There may be riches beyond your wildest dream waiting for you inside, if risking your life finding out. Oh, yeah, I'm here. Totally gonna try it. Chaos reigns! Open the door. The door, being made of stone and all, begins to slide open slowly, very slowly. You could be here all day. Well, great. It finally comes to a stop about halfway up. Figures. It is a very, very old door after all. You gaze into the darkness beyond the opening and can barely make out a path leading inside. It quickly disappears, giving you no clue as to what may be in store for you if you enter. Without you realizing, your knees begin to shake and your hands begin to tremble. Riches may be waiting for you just beyond the door, but you have a very, very bad feeling about this. Like I said, I've come this far. I have come to peace with the decisions I have made with my life, come to terms with the decisions I've made in my life, and at this point, I'm gonna just keep on traveling as the deserted tomb. You know, I'm gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You slowly make your way through the opening and into the waiting darkness. The door slams shut behind you. How unexpected. After being lost in the tomb for 2 days, living off fungus and rainwater, of course, you stumble across a room you haven't seen before. Could this be location of treasure? Raw, me hungry. That's a ghost hissy, if anybody knows what that is. That's definitely no treasure. A giant monster leaps out of the darkness and begins chasing you, all the while thinking about the best way to cook you for dinner. You should probably continue running. Suddenly remember where the exit is and escape to Graptigu. I mean, that's convenient. You know, after 2 days of being lost in the dark, it is only after I get attacked by a giant monster that wants to kill me that I remember where the exit is. I mean, better than not remembering the exit, I guess. And you can now see the beautiful lost city of Graptigu, which again is nothing right now. But we're just using our imaginations to imagine how beautiful and lost it looks. There's that. Okay. Not going to do the fairy crossword, but the Forgotten Shore, I do have all the map pieces for that together, so I usually check that out, because sometimes you get a little bit of gold, sometimes you get a little bit of cool items. So along the far coast of Rock Island lies the Forgotten Shore. Treacherous reefs surround the area, and more than one vessel has been lost for daring to approach. Every once in a while, old cargo still washes up onto shore. A desert shore stretches in front of you, but there's nothing of interest to be found today. That's all it is. So if you click it and there's something here to click, that means you found something that day. Otherwise, it'll just tell you at the bottom, there's nothing of interest to be found today. So we move on. The fruit machine. This has the potential to give some pretty good treats, some pretty good items. It's been quite a while since I've actually won anything from it, though. So like a little mini slot machine. Round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. I feel like this is flash-based, so I don't know how this is working, but the other things are. But, you know, I'm not the biggest tech guru to understand all of these finer things. Ben, who is a person who specifically requested to see how the Neopets dailies go, would probably know a little bit better. But, sorry, this is not a winning spin. Hopefully you'll have better luck tomorrow. I don't believe you, because it's been a very, very long time since I've actually won anything from the fruit machine, but I appreciate the optimism. The giant jelly, which allegedly doesn't exist. Can't find it anywhere. If you ask anybody on the Neo boards about it, they will tell you it doesn't exist, because Jelly World doesn't exist. Not on the map, not in anybody's understanding of the Neopet world, but for some reason there is a giant jelly. The giant jelly. Sitting in the middle of Jelly World, which doesn't exist, is a gigantic jelly. You know what this means? Yes, free jelly for everybody who visits. If your Neopet is hungry, which mine definitely are, why not grab a spoon and take some yummy jelly to eat? Simply click the button below for your daily free sample of jelly. Don't mind if I do. Giant jelly. The Jelly Keeper says, remember, only one helping per day. You take some whole tiger squash jelly. Congratulations. I don't know if that sounds good or not, but take it. I think before I forget about it, let's go see if during our dailies here we can get the Neo Lodge opened up, because I want to throw my pets in there, because one of the dailies that I usually do is I fight in the Battle Dome a little bit, because that gives item-based prizes. And in order to fight in the Battle Dome, your pets can't be dying of hunger. They kind of frown upon that. By frown upon that, I mean they don't let you fight at all. So let me see if we can find the Neo Lodge. There we go. Okay, cool. It's still here. And I'm gonna we'll pick Halakimos, because we're gonna throw them both in there. And I only give the finest accommodations for my pets, which is cockroach towers. And then you can choose the following extras at 5 Neo points per night, which is the restaurant. And then we're gonna have them stay for 28 days. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I know some people would probably come back and say, Aetherplasm, why are you putting your beloved pets that you work so hard for into a hotel called Cockroach Towers, and only have the only amenity at the hotel being a restaurant? Well, let me educate you a little bit about how this works. The hotel name and the subsequent star rating and the increasing price per night, mind you, has no effect on your pet's experience at the actual hotel. The only thing that matters is if they are checked into a hotel, and if there's a restaurant, it will automatically feed them. There is nothing else about the hotels that really does anything that's applicable to your pet. Because as you notice, while Moose is dying of hunger, they are extremely happy. So it's not like any of these things are going to improve their mood. And again, at the end of the day, they never really explored their moods that effectively with anything. You know, like the Battle Dome doesn't really depend on it, and all the other pet interactions are pretty much cosmetic. So I'm going to save a tiny bit of money, since I'm working up towards that lofty Neopoints goal, and just have them be at Cockroach Towers for 28 days with a restaurant to give them food so they're full. Other than that, that's all I really need. Complete the booking for Halakimos. And now we'll go back to Moose and do the same thing. And watch. They're excited, okay? See, you are the greatest. Now, would they say that if they were really upset about their accommodations? I don't think so. Moving on. Hopefully, by the time we get to the Battle Dome part of the dailies, they will be full enough, because I think their hunger goes down pretty quickly. So then we'll be able to use them to smash against other creatures, and then for pure profit. This game is starting to sound more and more sadistic the more I think about it. Not quite as bad as Pokemon, though I do like Pokemon too. But I'm feeling like there are some darker undertones to Neopets that I've been overlooking for a few years. Giant omelet. Legend has it that hundreds of years ago, a dinosaur of gigantic proportions laid a massive egg. The egg split open, started to bake in the sun. Aw, poor dinosaur lost its egg. Ever since then, a giant omelet has been cooking on the Tyranian plateau. It may seem silly, but it's true. The inhabitants of Tyrania flock to the omelet whenever they need a bite to eat. Most of them even bring their own ingredients, such as peppers, sausages, and tomatoes. Sounds pretty good. Whenever the omelet is fully eaten, sure enough, a new egg will appear somewhere on the plateau the next night, so the inhabitants of Tyrania need never go hungry. If you want to approach the omelet and grab a bite to eat, click the button below. So wait a second. They're trying to tell me that this dinosaur of gigantic proportions that laid a massive egg hundreds of years ago comes back every night once the omelet's actually gone. It lays another egg and just lets it die so that way it can bake in the sun and feed Tyrania? Anybody else find this suspicious? Or concerning in the least? I mean, it sounds like a very altruistic dinosaur, but I, wasn't really under the impression that dinosaurs were very altruistic. Guess I can't argue. Grab some omelet. You approach the massive omelet and manage to take a slice. I can't tell what kind of omelet that is, so let's go take a look in our inventory. Tomato omelet. Rarity 122. There is a rarity system for the items in the game. Some of it's applicable, some of it's not. In fact, most of the things, unless it's rarity 99, it really doesn't really matter. Rarity 99, and then there's rarity 200, I think, are the ones that actually mean something. Everything else is kind of take it with a grain of salt. So rarity 122 doesn't mean much. Like if you go over here and let's figure out how much this is selling for. So we'll go try to find it here to the shop wizard where we can check the prices throughout all of Neopia to see what people have in their shops and see how much they're selling things for. They are going for a whopping 250 Neo points at the cheapest. So not a ton. Not too worried about it. So even though it's rarity 122, 250 Neo points. Okay. Grave Danger. So, the way Grave Danger works, I had this little pet, who is the pet of my pet, off running through these catacombs, searching for treasure and trying not to die. And every time you go back, it shows you what you found, what your pet found. And then you have the choice to, have it go adventuring again. So you can toss the poor little thing back into the catacombs and hopefully it comes out with something cooler the next time. But the catacombs below Neovia are full of treasure, with the danger to match. The chance of being cursed is currently 93.7%. Savvy adventurers are advised to train pets to seek out glorious riches in their stead. So basically, we trained the pets of our pets to go and do the dirty deeds that we need to in order to, profit from them so that we don't put our own necks out there. Again, sensing these dark undertones. Everyone knows that Neopet curses don't work on pets. Okay, well, hey, I sit corrected. That's actually a legitimate concern. That's actually a legitimate statement there. If they don't affect pets, then they definitely are safer scouring through these catacombs. But let's see what Tumbles brought back. Is it? It is. Your pet has returned from the depths of the catacombs, unscathed by foul curses, but covered in cobwebs and slime. Oh, poor little bunny. There's your treasure. Tumbles has brought you chocolate cherry bundt cake. Sounds pretty tasty. Thank you, Tumbles. But now, I'm going to send you adventuring again. I don't have any equipment to give him. So he's just going to be going in blind. But he's been doing this for quite a while. At least several years. And he hasn't gotten hurt that I know of. And he keeps bringing me back stuff. So maybe he's having fun with it this time. Maybe he's got a map going of all the catacombs. And he just goes down and explores. And that's a grand old time. Croesus is the other pet. He's the pet of my Moroccan Drake. I don't ever send him down in the off chance that something actually bad happens to the pet. Because Tumbles is just a lab rat pet because they have a secret lab ray that can randomly change a status or one of the what's the word I'm looking for? One of the what's it called? Like your strength, your defense, your HP of your pet, or their color, or their gender, or their type of pet that they are. But they have a version for that for pets. However, Croesus is originally a galleon, the name of the pet, and I use a pet Moroccan paintbrush on it to match him. Where Tumbles has just been shot with a secret lab ray a bunch of times, and I don't even remember what it was in the beginning. So he's now a chocolate bunny, which I thought was pretty cool, so I've left him like that for a while. But I'm going to send him back into the catacombs. Let's see how long he's going to be partying down there this time. So, status. Found an old shoe. Grr, rar. Not really sure why, but okay. Remaining adventuring time, 7 hours and 24 minutes. So he knows how long he's going to be down there. He should be fine. He's having a good time. Okay. We're not gonna try to tell any jokes to the grumpy old king. We can go to the healing springs, see what that's going on about. Oh, so the healing springs just has it so you can buy stuff from it. I'm just gonna say heal my pets randomly. The water fairy says a few magical words and Moose is fully healed. Be good for the battle dome. Eco pop. Sure, why not? That's a little bit of chaos. It's pretty randomized. Oh. Uh-oh. Some elements may not display correctly without flash support. We're hard at work converting this into a more modern and secure format. Thank you for your patience. Well, I mean, at least they're making a statement, saying they're trying. It doesn't really look like they are, but I can't say what's going on behind the scenes. So I'll leave them to it. Not going to do Kiko Pop then. Lunar Temple takes actual thought, and I don't do a whole lot of that on a given day. So we're going to skip that one. The Magma Pool can potentially change the color of your pet if you find it at the right time. I'm not really interested in doing that. The Meteor. So, up on the moon, meteor crash site 725XZ. What is that glowing in the distance? Do you want to find out? Should you risk the danger? Well, yeah, let's take a chance. You reach the object and realize that it's a meteor fallen from the dark skies of Krelador. What to do next? We've got a couple of actions to choose from. Let's see what we got. We can poke it with a stick or run away now. I think we all know the obvious answer. We're going to poke it with a stick. You stare at the now empty space and wonder what happened. Try again later. That's a pretty fantastic meteorite. Poke it with a stick and it disappears. Okay. Skip the Maltar Quarry. Money Tree. Nah. Monthly freebies. Oh, I have not gotten those. So every month you can go and just get a couple of freebies. Your pets get to go and pick. Halakimos picked a rotten wormy apple. We get free things once a month, Halakimos. Free things. You just go and you get to pick and decide whatever your heart content, whatever fills your heart's content, and you choose a rotten wormy apple. As long as you're happy, that's fine. The pepperoni power pizza sounds so much more enticing. That's what Moose chose. But everybody likes something different, don't they? Different strokes for different folks. I prefer my apples to be less wormy, personally, despite the excess protein you'd get from the worms. To each their own. Mysterious Ned Cave, nope. Case I'm getting that's down with Flash too, so we're not even going to try that. Rich Lorg, no. Rubbish Dump, nope. Secondhand Shop, nope. Soup Kitchen, don't need it because, again, Soup Kitchen just provides free food to pets that are starving. However, you have to have below a certain level of Neopets wealth in order to do so, and I'm guessing 90 million is a little bit above that range. The Simo Hole, that one you can actually have a very negative effect on your pets, and one of our pets is already off on an adventure anyways, and I don't want to risk Crosis, so we're going to skip that one. The discarded magical blue Grundo plushie of prosperity. We will definitely be checking this one out. Somebody has left their blue Grundo plushie here. What a poor, unwanted little guy. Maybe you should talk to him. No, he's just a toy. You won't answer. Don't be silly. I'm going to talk to him. It was very kind of you to visit this worn little plushie. Oh, what's this? There's a new plushie on the ground nearby. You sure can give the discarded camouflage gerbil plushie a new home. See, told you it was worthwhile. That just tells you anytime you go and you find mysterious stuffed animals in trees in the woods, you should try to talk to them. Life lesson right there. Nothing bad will ever happen. Maybe. Tombola, little raffle game here. Welcome to my tombola. Great prizes to be won. Just put your hand or paw in, pick up a tombola ticket, and see what prize you win. Anything ending with a 0, 2, or 5 is a winner. You can play the tombola once per day. Please do not create multiple accounts in order to play tombola. We will freeze people we see cheating. Goes to show you the level of dedication some people have to this. They will make multiple accounts. They will, try to duplicate items by hacking into the game and all these other fun things. And I feel like that's a little bit more trouble than it's worth. At the end of the day, guys, this is Neopets. This does not need to be that serious. It's supposed to be fun for everybody. It's supposed to be nostalgic. Don't need to go and ruin a good thing. Play Tombola. Ticky Tack Tombola. You put your hand into the Tombola and draw the following ticket. 16. Not a winner. Oh dear, that's not a winning ticket. But you win a booby prize. Never mind. Why not try again tomorrow? My prize? A vial of pure water. Well, hey, at least I'm not going to get Giardia if I drink it. Pure water is better than unpure water. Trudy's surprise, we already did. The Wise Old King, we're not going to do. The Ye Old Fishing Vortex. All right, so welcome to the underwater fishing cavern. This trapped air pocket has created an underwater lake with all kinds of strange and wondrous secrets, as well as some other. Take a place on the jetty and start fishing. But be patient, you might have to wait a while between catches. So Moose's fishing skill is 424. He is an accomplished angler. Let's see what he's going to pull in today. I reel in my line and I get a water fish. I mean, realistically, that's pretty impressive. Like, if you catch a fish made of water in water, I feel like that, it just makes sense. You need a really high fishing level skill to get that. In reality, you don't actually need that high of a fishing level skill. It's a very basic prize, but the concept is interesting. I'm not going to cast my line again because it's going to be a while in between. Desert Kiosk. On to Fairgrounds Ice. Yeah, I don't really play the scratch cards. Not because, I'm afraid of them or anything, but just because they're not that interesting. I love chaos and I love random chance, but there's not that much of that involved. There's better things to spend our Neopoints on, our hard-earned Neopoints. So, we could earn 50,000 a day, blah, 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 playing all these games. I'm going to skip all of those. Let's go and see if the Lever of Doom will give us anything. So here, like I said, we're going to go out of our way today. Normally, I kind of stay away from the Lever of Doom. The Lever of Doom is notoriously evil. I mean, it is called the Lever of Doom for a reason. However, in the spirit of embracing chaos, we're going to do a few spins or a few pulls of this lever today. Because, ladies and gentlemen, fine folks joining us on the channel today, there is a strange lever sticking out of the space station wall with a notice that reads, "Do not pull." So you probably shouldn't pull the lever. You can if you want, but you shouldn't. You know me. Tell me not to do something. Probably going to do it. Pull the lever anyway. Chaos reigns. Oh no, an evil mechanical hand emerges from the panel and steals 100 Neopoints from you. Like I said, negative effects. You know what? I don't think I've learned my lesson yet. Let's do this. We're going to do this 10 times. That was number 1. That was number 1. We got 100 Neopoints taken from us. Let's pull it again. Oh no, an evil mechanical hand emerges and steals another 100 from us. Not going to stop me. I need more chaos in my life. Another 100 Neopoints. This is the 4th one. Another 100. We're going to be broke before this is over. Another 100. Another 100. Where there's other results than just 100. Another 100 gone. My bank account is depleting quickly. That 90 million is going to be gone before we know it. Another 100. Will I learn? Another 100. Number 10. Come on. And another 100. Okay. So, chaos today has told us that it's just going to slap us in the face with a metal hand and steal our money. But sometimes that's how it rolls. You can get an avatar from this game. An avatar is it's a typical avatar, but you can use it on the community forums here to represent yourself in your forum posts. And people collect them. So, for example, we go to my profile. I have 251 avatars. A lot of them have different criteria that you have to meet in order to earn them, almost as an achievement. And getting slapped in the face by a metal hand and having your money taken a bunch of times gets you closer randomly to earning it. I can't remember if I have the Lever of Doom avatar, which if I do, that means that I just played that game for the sake of having my face slapped and money taken for no reason. So let's take a look. Trying to remember. So that's the Neo boards, and they probably switched this all around and everything too. Community, Spotlights, Guilds, Hub, fan sites. Oh, you know what? I think I know what I do. I think I go to my account. And I go to site preferences. Yes. Yeah. Maybe? No. Site preferences, pin preferences, email, change your email, Facebook. Nope. Billboards. I legitimately don't know how to do the avatars that I have anymore because they've change this all around. Maybe service, use the form, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't love this. Bookmark this page. I don't really want to bookmark this page. Well, I guess we just gonna have to leave it. I don't know. I don't know if I have that avatar or not. But we tried and failed. Fairy Caverns. This is a little bit more chaos. Cost 400 Neo points, but there's a chance that we could find some very, very rare, very, very expensive items. So, your eyes adjust to the dim light and you see a cavern split in two directions. Which way do you go? Left or right? Mrs. Aetherplasm, left or right? Left. We're going left. You've made it past the first cabin and are faced with another choice. Left or right? Mrs. Aetherplasm, left or right? Left again. You follow the winding passages deep into the cavern. You sense the treasure is very close, but which way to choose? Oh, Puppy Cam. Hi. For any viewers who are just meeting her, this is Jane. She's our 11.5-week-old Bernese Mountain Dog puppy. Do you have kisses? Can I get kisses? Oh, I got kisses. She got distracted and still went potty. This is a personal best for her because usually this little stinker, as cute as she is, will be in the process of trying to go potty, get distracted by something, and then forget that she has to go potty. So good for you. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you for doing so good. And all right. If you want to see more puppy cam instances, feel free to send a follow to the channel. And, you know, if you really, really want to, you can always give a donation, and then we will have the puppy immediately brought on stream. Doesn't have to be a large one. It could be 5 cents if you want. I think the minimum is like $1. Or you could just ask me nicely in chat, realistically. I'm not going to force you to pay to see the puppy. So you follow the winding passage deep into the cavern. You sense the treasure is very close, but which way to choose? All right, Mrs. Aetherplasm, left or right? Right this time. You round a corner and you hear a strange noise. It sounds like something large is moving in the darkness in front of you. Perhaps you should retreat quickly. Return to Fairyland. Oh well, no treasure for that today. Now we get into the way that I actually make the majority of the money on this account. And you're all going to judge me probably, because it's not something that I entirely do by myself, but it's not cheating either because this is information that's freely given through a different community. What I'm going to do, I am going to play the Food Club. Now, this is a little bit complicated to explain, but basically it's kind of like individual horse racing, I guess. But what happens is you've got different arena names, and in each arena there's 4 contestants, and it gives you the odds of each contestant winning that arena. Then you can place bets by which contestant you think is going to win, and you can place a bet amount. The amount that you can bet is solely dependent upon how long you have had an account. So the longer your account, the more you can bet, the more you can win. So for example, 50 plus 2 for every day that you have been playing Neopets. So I've been playing Neopets for 6,581 days. Holy cow, that sounds like a lot when I read it out loud. But, like I said, the account just turned 18 years old. So that allows me to bet 13,212 Neo points every day, or per bet. And I can make 10 bets per day at the Food Club. Now, I would love to claim that I have this incredibly brilliant mathematic-based mind that lets me discern all of the finer nuances of the odds here and figure out the most effective ways to put them together in order to have the most promising winning percentages. But I don't. I mean, maybe I do, but I haven't taken the time and effort to actually do it. So instead, I go to Discord, and Discord has this lovely Neopets community, which you can join for free, and they have not a thread. What do they call them in Discord? I'm trying to remember here. They have a server within the Neopets server, or a channel within the Neopets server, that there are numerous people that will go and post their bets for the day. And they have a bot that you can use on that channel to then subsequently see what people's winning percentages are. So you can find the people who have higher winning percentages, and then you can go to their daily bets and just copy them. And realistically, that's what I've been doing this entire time. So shame on me, but hey, if it works, it's not stupid. Let's go to the food club over here. And then I have a specific person that I follow typically. Um, do, 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 do. Discord changed the way that they search. That's not annoying at all. Maybe if I make it full page. There we go. So from, if you guys want to know, so it's JK Rolling Down is the user that I follow specifically on this Discord. It's just being a little bit annoying at the moment. Streamer mode enabled. Stay safe, friend. Marcus Red. I want to search specifically in here. Oh, I wonder if it's because of this. There we go. Oh, it's got streamer mode enabled because it sees that I'm streaming and it doesn't want me to just put a bunch of people's usernames up from the Discord, which makes total sense, but it's on my other screen. Just going to double check. Yeah, you can't see any of the Discord page that I'm on because it's on my other monitor. So now I can go ahead and freely jump over to JK Rolling Down's bets for this round. Jump there. I'm going to subscribe to that bet, and then I'm going to click this link, and then voila, in this other page, it brings up this lovely other program, which looks like a bunch of gobbledygook and gibberish. However, the parts that are actually important, if you scroll down, are these, which tell you where to bet. And it tells you which arena to click each time, and it tells you who to place your bet on for that arena. So, for example, we're going to go through these one by one. All of the rest of these little bits of information over here on the side, they matter, but you really don't have to care about them. All you got to do, find your arena, click the person appropriately with that, and it goes, line by line for each bet. So this is a bet, this is a bet, this is a bet, and then you get all 10 bets down, and then you wait till about 6:30-ish, 6:40 Eastern Standard Time to find out if you won anything. So let's go over here. Let's set this up. So we need Shipwreck, Lagoon, Treasure, and Hidden. We're going to select those 4 arenas. And we're selecting Dan, Goobla, Buck, and Fairfax. So we're going to go Scurvy Dan the Blade, Goobla the Grarl, Buck Cutlass, and Fairfax the Deckhand. And then we place our bet amount, 13,212 today. And we place that bet. That easy. Now, in order to place the next 9 bets, all we do, back up, it's going to save our bet amount in there. Go back to this other food club page, and we say, what changes? Okay, so Fairfax switches to Edmund for the next bet. Otherwise, it's this. So we're going to change Fairfax to Edmund, and we're going to place that bet. Now we're going to go back, and Edmund changes to Puffo for the next one. Puffo the Waster. Hopefully he's not wasting food, otherwise he's not going to win. And then for the 4th bet, we just remove that 4th arena entirely. Because you can't make the same bet more than once, but you can reduce the number of arenas or characters in the bet and keep the other ones same so that you can double up on your winnings. So like, for example, I do understand this amount of it. So for example, say Dan, Goobla, Buck, and Fairfax all win from this arena. That means that we will win the max amount from those, but then also anytime that the 3 of these guys also won, then we get that added bonus. So it's not just that bet that wins, this bet wins too. Furthermore, the same thing goes for any of these, and it kind of compounds itself as you go down. So then Dan, Goob, Francisco. There we go. Dan Goop Sproggy. Dan Goop Squire. Dan Tailhook Buck. Switching it up a little bit here. Dan Crossblades. So we're going to remove Arena and just Crossblades. And finally, Dan and Lucky. Who apparently doesn't seem to be very lucky at the moment because he's going off at 13-1 odds, where Scurvy Dan and Blade's going off at 2-1. But who knows? Chaos may reign. All right, so have all 10 of these bets in, and now we wait till what it's going to be. Like I said, about 6:40 Eastern Standard Time for the results. I don't think I have any previous winnings that I forgot about. Nope. But you can go and see, for example, I said that this is where I make the majority of my funds on this game. For, I believe it's bet history. So I've placed roughly 2,975 bets. I have bet roughly 47,694 Neopoints in total. Keep in mind, in total. But I have won 66,288,320 Neopoints, which means an overall positive difference of 32.24 million Neopoints that I've made in profit from this. So you won't win every day. Even with the best of the best placing their bets, and you can decide, which is the most reliable person for the food club on that Discord channel, you're still not guaranteed to win because it is still gambling. Chaos will still play a role. But you do it often enough and frequently enough with people who have a certain level of success. Like the person that I follow, they don't make the riskiest of bets. They try to cover a lot of their riskier bets with other bets so that you still win something the majority of the time. There's a good chance you could win nothing still. That happens. But you do it consistently, you do it enough, and overall you still end up on top. This is because of the way that the game is designed. It's not quite like a typical gambling game where you're gonna the house always wins or something. No, it's purely mathematics and statistics based, with just a little bit of random number generator thrown in. But you can really, really tip the odds in your favor past the point of being in big trouble, as long as you're following someone who is consistently taking not necessarily conservative routes with their bets, but just well informed and a balance. Because there are people on the Discord channel who are known for risky bets, and they try to always get the max amount of possible. And they don't win very often, but when they do, they might win 10 million Neopoints at a time. And you could question, well, does that make up for all the other times where you didn't win? All depends on how you look at it. If you've got the expendable income in Neopoints to do so, then feel free, go at it. That's fine. But I'm more comfortable because it's about 130,000 for me. My account's 18 years old. If you started out, you'd only be able to bet a little bit, especially if you just made an account. But for all you people out there who might be finding this stream and saying, hey, I haven't played Neopets in forever, and I want to figure out how to make some Neopoints and get back into it. It's a good way to do it, but manage how much you're going to be putting into it because there will be losses. But overall, like I said, follow the trend. It'll be positive. So that is that for the food club. That just leaves the Battle Dome. Oh, and one other thing. We'll check out the shop and everything. But I think I've given enough time for my Neopets to be fed effectively so I can actually use them. And I have quite a decent set, I do believe. I think the rough value of this set is in excess of 200 million Neopoints. Took me quite a while to accrue for Illusion Staff. I did actually all of Illusion's quests. You have to do 50 of them. They get quite difficult, and you have to get a little bit lucky finding the items and the amount of time they give. And then I also did that for Eudora's Wands. So I did not buy these outright. I got real lucky with those quests, and here we are today. There are other things I saved up for quite a while and was able to get. But we're going to continue. We're going to do some fighting here. And we're going to specifically fight the Koi Warrior. We can set the level of difficulty. I'm going to set him for the hardest difficulty because that is hardest difficulty. He's only difficulty 87. For example, if you go down here, the Snow Wager, it's a big, scary ice death worm. His easiest difficulty is 650. But the reason why I'm picking on this little chump is because he fights in what's known as the Moroccan Battle Dome. And the Moroccan Battle Dome, for whatever reason, statistically gives out more code stones than the other things as prizes. And code stones tend to sell quite nicely for some extra Neo points when you get them. So we'll go in here, and I'm just going to go and use, one of my most powerful weapons. And then this is a little life potion. The life potion is going to restore a little bit of my health every time. That way, in case the Koi Warrior over here does any damage to me, I don't have to worry about really going back to the healing springs a bunch and healing. But Koi Warrior's got some witty remarks for us. So, my little friend, shall we begin? Yeah, sure. I'm going to punch you in the face. Boom. One hit KO. So, combat log if you just want to see. For example, he did 35 damage to me with his Koi Warrior water gun and his supersized Mega Ultra Plus. And then he used an ability called Sear for a little bit extra damage. I've got 1,200 hit points, though. And I did 310 damage with one weapon. And then healed myself a little bit, just for good measure. Collect the rewards. We got some Neo points, and we got a water pizza. Again, just an item that we can sell later. But I'm going to play again. Hopefully we get some code stones. And we just get to play this until we reach our item and Neo point distribution maximum for the day. So there's only a certain amount that you can get per day. Pink Koi plushie that time. Before it'll say, you're done. No more rewards from Battle Dome. You can keep doing the Battle Dome if you want. But no more item rewards. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how many that is. But it'll tell us. So, weak bottled Earth Fairy, the missing Koi, a little book. Inconsequential stuff. Keep the smackdown rolling. Moroccan Charger plushie. Bunch of low Neopoint items. And sometimes it'll be quite a while before you get a few code stones. They just kind of add up over time, especially if you get red code stones. Red code stones individually can be worth like 90 to 100,000 Neopoints a piece. A Brie code stone. So this is a normal code stone. I think that one goes for maybe 3,000 Neopoints. But all adds up in the end of the day, so we'll throw it in the shop once we're done. Make sure the shop is priced adequately. And we'll probably check the shop till and see how much money we made recently. Realm of the Water Fairies, red Koi plushie. Need a sip of water. What are we doing? All right, back to the fight. You're only delaying the inevitable by blocking my attacks, my friend. You're gonna get hit one of these times. Ooh, even my puppy's rooting for me. You can hear her back there. Moroccan Grackle Bug. Ugh. Red Koi plushie. Only one code stone so far, but sometimes it's just how it is. Chaos is as chaos does. A weak bottled light fairy. This time I didn't get any item reward, and it says you've reached your NP limit for the day, but you can continue to fight, but no more Neo points can be earned. But we can still earn more items, because we will get a second one of these little alerts once we've earned more than the threshold of items. And if you notice, I'm using the same items every time, just because this is a very basic fight. There's a red code stone. We'll check the shop wizard in a little bit to see how much that one's worth. But yeah, I use the same items pretty much every time because it's a very basic fight. If I was in a challenge that was a little bit harder, where there was an opponent that had certain resistances to certain another code stone, certain items, then I could change it up and still do a significant amount of damage and be very successful. Those are more particularly useful in different plots and wars that can come up, where they're more battle-based since the opponents are a little bit tougher. But for now, I'm just doing this for resource collection. A Bree Codestone and a Taikai Codestone. Nice, nice. Got a good... We're hitting a small vein of Codestones here. We'll see if we can keep it up. And you have reached your item limit for the day. You can continue to fight, but no more items can be earned. That's our sign that we are done with the Battle Dome for now. So let's go to our inventory and let's get stuff put into this shop. Can I still quick stock thing? Question? Thank you. I really enjoy the Battle Dome. Honestly, for the longest time, I was really into the Battle Dome. I mean, I still am. I have some very strong pets, but I always felt like I was missing out on the wars and the plots when they come through, because initially I just didn't have a pet that could support it. But now that I have a very strong pet, like I don't remember his stats specifically. Let's go look at his stats. This is my main battle pet, but as you can see, he's got almost 1,300 hit points. His strength is 641, thanks to the lab ray, and that's why I have this lovely lab rat sign up here. 73 defense, which you get a lot of that in the secret lab. In case you don't know, it pretty much the majority of things that it changes are the amount of hit points you have and the strength and the movement. They've charted this over time, and they've found that notoriously that is the best things that you get is the HP and the strength. Ultimate Genius, because I used to have a blue tunic, something like that relied on having an intelligence level of a certain amount in order to use in battle. But I just kept it up there for now. But yeah, so I'm actually very proud of that. I was zapping him for a long time. I've been leaving him as a Christmas Kachik for quite a bit because of that Kachik healing potion. You just can't beat it, you know. As far as the price goes, as long as you have the money to be able to change it into a Kachik to use it, because it is a species-specific weapon, then you're in business. There's no other healing item that really matches it aside from like the Elemental Earth Vial, but that goes for like 30 million or something, where the Kachik Life Potion is maybe 100,000. But let's see. Is there... Okay, so they have a way to sort it. They have a way to quick stock. That was really one of my favorite things before, because I could just easily go through sort A to Z and like highlight multiple things. I don't really want to go through individually to click all these. That's the biggest, but like highlight, no. Well, I guess until I find out otherwise, we're gonna go through and just individually sort these. Oh, also Powder Under 9,000. Oh, nice name. If you do want to see me fight anybody in specific in the Battle Dome, let me know. I can take on pretty much anybody. I don't have a freezing item at the moment, though I theoretically could buy one, which would make a difference. But could be fun to see just how high I can go with some of those things. But I have beaten every challenger in the Battle Dome that I have unlocked, and I think I have all of them unlocked. I can't fight the Space Fairy, though, because I don't have premium. So that's the only stipulation. Put into your shop and submit. See, this is why this is annoying, because you have to individually go through each one of these and say put into your shop, and you could accidentally discard the item, which I don't know who thought that was a good idea to put discard item right next to put into your shop. But somebody did. It wasn't me. I have to click all the way back, apparently, to get to my inventory. I'm probably doing this wrong. There's probably a different way that I should be doing this. But right now, it seems like... Oh, view stock. Okay, that's what. I don't need to click view stock. I can just hit X, and maybe it'll just stay in my inventory, so at least it saves me one click. Mag Codestone, we're going to put it into the shop, and we're going to submit and close that. Bree Codestone, or Bry Codestone, I don't know. I always said Bree Codestone, so we'll go with Bree Codestone. Ooh. Fair enough. Haven't played in years, enjoying for the nostalgia. I know. I do. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Power Under 9,000. I have a friend who has given me a lot of guff in recent history, and I don't even. He's probably not even watching at the moment, but he'll probably check out the stream later when they're recording. And he said, "You got to stream your Neopets dailies," and I was like, "Really?" It's like, I'll donate $5 to your stream if you stream your Neopets dailies." All right, I'll do it. It is what it is. It takes a little bit longer when I'm talking my way through everything, but I figure it could be at least be entertaining and nostalgic for some people. There's all these new games out there, and nobody takes time to appreciate some of the old ones sometimes. So I do really enjoy it, and I always check back to see in Neopets when there are the new plots and the new wars going on, because that was the most entertaining aspect of it for me growing up. Unfortunately, it's been a little while. I want to say at least a year since the last, maybe a year and a half, at least since the last major plot, because the company that's taken over Neopets um, really is just kind of running it as a bare bolts operation. They're not, in my opinion, they're not putting a ton into it as far as the content goes. Like, yeah, they've changed the site layout with Flash being gone, and they've done a couple other updates here and there, but overall, they're not truly invested in it. So, either way, we'll play it for the enjoyment of it. I'll probably end up playing a couple of the games in here too that I used to play more often. But let's go to, for now, let's go to the shop. Let's keep working on our days a little bit. I'm going to do my shop. So my shop has this lovely shopkeeper, this emo, I think they're called Usels or Usels, depending on who you ask. And the reason why is because one of the avatars that we spoke about earlier, you can get by having this be your shopkeeper. This is the criteria it has to fill. However, last I checked, if you remove this shopkeeper and switch to one of the other ones that they provide, you lose that avatar. So you're bound and stuck with this lovely ray of sunshine for all of eternity if you want to keep that avatar. And now I don't use that avatar on the chat boards. I use one that's called the Malevolent Sentient Poogle plushie avatar. But I also like having a large number of avatars because I'm a bit of a collector at heart. So, oh well, it's stuck as it is. Let's go. We're gonna get the shop wizard open up over here. That way we can figure out the relative costs of some of these items. So that way we can price them appropriately and hopefully people come and buy them from us. And then we have even more Neo points. My goal, so besides trying to get to 100,000 bank interest a day, my goal is to get probably, I want to say either 400 or 500 million Neo points. At that point, I would feel comfortable actually going and starting to collect the stamps. Now, the stamps are very, 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 very expensive things. Each set of stamps can, go from anywhere from like 40 to 60 million in total. But if you collect all of them, you unlock those avatars that we were speaking about before. And that's kind of, again, the overarching hardest part of the collection side of things for Neopets that there really is. That's what the elite Neopets players do, is they go and they collect the stamp avatars. So, again, got to have goals. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. So this is Taikai Codestone. Let's refresh the page. Oh, okay. Well, apparently that doesn't let me do that anymore. I just wanted to refresh the page, not go backwards. Learning process. That's what this is. Learning process. I always try to check. Usually what I do is I would refresh the page to see, because you get multiple shops. This isn't necessarily guaranteed lowest price of the item. There's this weird algorithm that, based upon the first letter of the username, like you can see these are all U's and H's, that you get a total. So while this page may have 2,332 Neo points for the cost of a Taikai Codestone, the next page might have it for 5 Neo points. You don't know. You got to go with your averages. And you can't, and so it's like you can line it up with your username if you find one that starts, like for mine starts with an R, see if there's an R, but kind of overcomplicates it. So we're just gonna go back and we'll stick with maybe 2,300 here. If it's not sold in like a day, I'll probably search again and then change the price, be a little bit more appropriate. The nice thing is Codestones are still incredibly widely used for training. in Neopets in the training school, which is the other way to really boost up your pet's stats for the Battle Dome, other than the Secret Lab, because the Secret Lab is random, right? You can individually choose the training otherwise with the Island Training School or the Pirate Training School. And the Pirate Training School, unfortunately, doesn't just train you to be a pirate or anything. It actually trains stats. It'd be nice if you got like pirate-themed items with it, but that's neither here nor there. But it takes longer and it's more pricey, but then you get to actually control the specific stats of your pet. And for balance reasons, that's important to some people, so code stones get bought a lot. So it's nice that they're giving us a prize from the Battle Dome, because they move so quickly. And I'll show you an example of that moment. It's really frustrating that every time I hit back, it takes me 2 pages back instead of just back to the beginning of Shop Wizard. Probably doing that wrong too after they changed the layout, but code stone, that's about 2,300. Free code stone. Okay, so I can just do new search. So that'll save a little time. Not as nice as just being able to hit the back button, but we must adapt, improvise, overcome. About 2,200 there. Those haven't sold in a bit. I'm gonna reduce the price on those by a little. Because the hard thing about searching for secret map pieces is that it's really hard to tell which is which, because it's just called secret laboratory map. They're not numbered in your search. So they come up with drastically different prices. You have to kind of guess at them based upon the ones you find in shops that are similar. Okay, you could probably be a little bit lower. I'm not going to bother searching. Oh, here's our red code stones that we got to price out. The red code stones, much pricier, much more profitable. On a good day in the Battle Dome, if you're fighting the Koi Warrior, you can make 100,000 Neo points just from the red code stones. That's, real quick. So the Mad Code Stone's only in like 12,500, but hey, that's 12,500 that didn't really have to do that much for. Oop, I didn't like that. No, come back. No errors. All right. Whew. Show Code Stone. Do. I feel like they need like sight music too. That'd be playable. Maybe they do. Maybe I have it turned off. I don't remember there being sight music. I've got these old habits of just hitting the back button to get to the shop wizard. And they made him look worse. Like, they have these images from the old templates and everything of this wonderful man, this wonderful Jub in his wizard outfit, and somebody went through all this trouble and probably spent like a good amount of time doing this design for the old graphic, and they couldn't just take that graphic and put it onto here, because this looks so much worse than the most recent Jub graphics, in my opinion. And I know someone worked hard on that. I'm not trying to completely rag on their art and everything, but even this, the original Jub artwork, not the original, but the more nostalgic, more memorable one, looks better than that little guy in the next one. This seems to be more true to form, right? Am I crazy? So that red code stone, we got about 41,000. Yeah, see, like I was saying, we got 2 of them from the Battle Dome this time. So that's 82,000 right there from just a few times smashing the Koi Warrior in the face. Okay. So now, let's go to the shop till. Yep, code stones are profitable. That is all from code stones. I usually only empty my shop till about once a month though, so that's like a month's worth of code stones. But that just goes to show you, if you play the Battle Dome and smash the Koi Warrior in the face every day, you can get about 1.2 million Neo points worth of it. And the Koi Warrior, you don't have to have it on the hardest setting. I just do it to feel a little bit better about myself. The fact that I'm just beating up on this poor little innocent fish. So your Battle Dome set doesn't need to be that advanced. So that's the majority of my dailies. That's usually what I do. However, I'm kind of feeling the urge to play a couple of games here, just for nostalgia's sake, especially because we got some viewers that are here for nostalgia. I'm sure some of the games are part of what made it so nostalgic. So one thing, actually, I do love your participation. If you are still around, Power Under 9,000, Do you have a specific game you'd like to see me try to play? I can't promise I'm going to be great at it, but I would love to attempt it regardless, as long as Flash Player or the lack of Flash Player doesn't hinder us from doing that. So I'll give it a moment. Or anybody else who might be lurking, if you have a game that you want to see me play here on Neopets. I was planning on probably playing Hossy Bounce. I do like that one. I think I remember some old beats for it. And Mirka Chase, an old favorite of mine. Maybe Cast Basher, and go from there. I don't know. Not specifically looking to make money on them, because I got plenty. More about the nostalgic feeling, more about having fun. I know that usually this channel is about chaos, and if you're joining us for the first time, that is really, really about what this channel emboldens in its way. As I love to have that randomness, I love to have a little bit of chaos thrown in, because I feel like life is so full of chaos. We might as well embrace it, otherwise doing with ourselves. So you help me decide. Give you a moment. I think I can get rid of this tab over here. Yeah, this is the only way to get to the hidden tower. While we're waiting on people, I should make a poll. I've never made a poll before. I should figure out how to do that and then post a poll. The hidden tower, for anybody who isn't familiar with Neopets and you can't get to it right now, aside from Jelly Neo's link for the direct URL, this lovely shop here in Fairyland, where you can see the prices are much, much higher, but the items are much more extravagant. You can get like the everlasting apple, rainbow swirly thing, but you can see the cost is, you know, starting fairly high. Slumberberry potion. I should really see what freezing item I should get. It's been a while. I know I'm trying to save up to get 100,000 a day interest. Gemmed Sword of Light. That's a new one. I haven't been here in a while to see that. Melly Cheese Bomb. Love it. Oh, did they remove the Ghoster Bomb? No, they didn't. Okay. Sometimes they remove items from the hidden tower, and when they remove items from the hidden tower, their prices skyrocket because you can no longer obtain them easily. Here, there's an unlimited supply. As long as you have the Neopoints for it, you can just click and buy it like any other shop. But the rest of the market is driven by purely supply and demand. And that means that if something leaves the hidden tower, especially if it's a strong weapon, the supply is automatically dropped significantly as opposed to an infinite supply. So now it just, the free market controls where it goes. Yeah, I wonder, you know what? I'm going to go, while we're waiting to see, let's see. Heather, I don't recommend getting your freezer from the hidden tower. Yeah, I wasn't planning on getting a freezer from the hidden tower, Lexi. Thank you for joining, by the way, and checking out the stream. I'm more of just curious what our options are for. Let me do this. Let's go do here, and then I'm going to do a little search. See if we still have a certain web page. In-depth Battlepedia from jellyneo.net. So this is what I usually use to get my Battledome information from. I recommend getting Freezing Potion or the H4000 helmet. Yeah, I do remember those. I remember those from back in the day. But I think what we can do... So if you haven't heard of this webpage before, this is the in-depth Battlepedia. It is kind of like Jelly Neo. It actually might... It is. It's now owned by Jelly Neo. You can see up at the top here. But they run it, and they keep a pretty much exhaustive list of all of the weapons in Neopia, and then they even rate them. So, like, for example, if we go to the top 100 weapons, Fiora's tier is the number 1. That's because it's a once per battle blocker that, you know, blocks everything, but it's got a rating of 9.6. I do have the Wand of the Dark Fairy and Illusion Staff, so I have 2 of the top 10. The M Skull, I think this was a freezer that I wanted a while back because, yeah, there's a 100% chance of freezing. However, I believe this item last sold for like 600 million, and that's way above my price range. Some species have 100% freezers that are cheaper. That's true. Was it Lenny Lasso or something? That was one of them, Lexi. Yep, Entangling Lenny Lasso. And unfortunately, I'm sticking with keeping Moose a Kachik just because you really can't beat the Kachik Life Potion, which is up here. which gives you 33% of max HP when you have 33% or less, or it heals you to full HP if you have over 33% of your HP. That is an insane healer, as long as you have your pet being a Kachik. I wonder if there's a way that I can specifically select freezers, maybe advancers. There's a 33% healer now. Oh, just in general. Oh, the last M skull is 300 million. Okay, so still more than I have. That's still more than I want to spend on a singular item. But let's go to freeze, and let's go. Is there a way I can put percentage free? Select defense, min, max, items. Any. Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's just go with freeze, see what it says. Not for freezer, sadly. Fair enough. So the advisor, Bruce. So we're looking for 100% freezer. Something that'll guarantee do a freeze. Just in case there's anything new that's come up. Chaos. Ooh, that's really tempting because I do love me some chaos. And you might freeze yourself as part of it. Oh, that's so tempting. That's so tempting. Okay. Fragile, once per battle, use ancient loop wand. So it could break. It's not that durable, but it is 100% freezer. The blanking ray. Oh, that's a single use. Oh, do I have a way to select non-single item usage? Once per battle. I think that's what I need. Because then we know that it's not gonna break. There's that H4000 helmet that you were talking about, Lexi. Golden Pewfin Harp. I'm guessing that's specifically for Pewfins. And we have our freezing potion that we were talking about as well. And then, oh, the heavy blue tunic. If your intelligence is over 1,000. I wonder what the heavy blue tunic is going for right now. Go to the trading post. Browse lots. There's also a Sword of Lameness. It's a 20% freezer that can freeze multiple times during a battle. Ooh. And I'm guessing, does the Sword of Lameness have like multiple chances of doing different things? Or of lameness. Oh, it's not a once per battle thing. Probably what's the search. Ooh, okay. So there is a 12.5% chance of freezing, 12.5% chance of a full heal, 12.5% chance it does nothing, and a 25% chance of earth and physical damage, and then 37.5% chance of air, water, and fire and light damage. No, that's fine. I mean, I'm not sitting here with all these memorized either way, so don't apologize. Really tempting. I love some chaos, and it might make it a little bit more interesting to have a most recent price range listed. You know what? Let's just go and check the. We're checking on the heavy blue tunic, anyways. Oh, I love this. People are incredibly descriptive on the trading post. Still, this was an issue that I had even when I was playing more regularly. And when you go and you search for an item, Neomail offers. Neomail offers. And no wish list. How am I supposed to know how much you want for it then? I'm just supposed to throw numbers in the air and hopefully one of them sticks? I guess we could check the auction too. But then those can be set up if people are doing Neo friend only stuff to try to transfer Neo points between accounts and all these other things, and it just gets messy and not for certain exactly what the price range should be. Not for sale anyway. Okay. So that was incredibly unhelpful. But let's try the Sword of Lameness. Maybe there will be more. Maybe someone will actually have a idea of how much they want for it. Okay. Am I spelling it right? I believe I am. Sword of Lameness. Yep. What weapons am I using at the moment, Lexi? Let me show you. This is Moose's battle set. So I have Kelpier's Trident, the Altitorian Swordbreaker. Why? Just because. Pirate's Captain Cutlass, Cupid's Nox Shield, Cheek Life Potion, and then the two, well, I guess it's not two wands, but Illusion Staff and Wand of the Dark Fairy. My absolute favorite items. I never thought that I was going to own these items in my life when I was originally playing Neopets, and I knew what they were. Kind of had lofty goals. But then after they changed the shop wizard so that way you could actually go in and put things in your shop for as high as, I think, is it 1,000,000 now? I think you can, here, it'll tell us. Yeah, so you can, the highest priced item you can have in your shop now is 999,999. It used to be, I'm sure you remember, but for anybody who doesn't know, used to be the maximum price you could put for an item in your shop was only 99,999 Neopoints. So we had a bunch of these things called unbuyable items. Anything that was valued over 100,000 Neopoints couldn't be easily sold. Thank you for the follow, Alexi. And when that happened, that meant that there were a bunch of items that you had to actually find through the trading post, which even the trading post had a limit, I think, of like 800,000 Neopoints that could be done in a single transaction. And that took a lot longer, whereas a shop, you could just search for it and then go and click it, and then boom, it's yours. The trading post, you have to barter a deal or you have to place an offer on something, and then they have to review the offer and accept it. And the tricky part with getting those lovely items that we were just looking at, those two, Wand of the Dark Fairy and Illusion Staff, you have to get them from quests. And those quests are specific challenges. They give you like 16 minutes to find an item. And in order to get that, and that item increases in the level of rarity the higher you go. And you have to complete 50 levels in order to get those two items. And when the shops were back at the point where they, you can only have an item worth 990 or 99,999, there were a ton of items on that list. So like from level 20 all the way to 30 or all the way to 50, there were 30 items usually, because I think after level 20 it gets into the higher priced items that are usually more difficult to find. 30 rounds where you have to hope that there's somebody online who has one and is willing to sell you for a price that you can afford to try to give it to this person in less than 16 minutes for each of these rounds. You can only do it once a day-ish. But then there was the revamp of the shops, and all of a sudden all of these unbuyable items that were between 100,000 and 999,999 were suddenly buyable. So I saw that and I was like, I wonder if it's going to be easier for me to complete these challenges. And I had at that point built up a decent amount of or a decent amount of Neopoints, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And I was able to complete both Illusions quests and the Dark Fairy quests within close to the same month. And I think my total Neopoints that I spent on them was maybe like 5 or 6 million a piece, which is a lot for some people. But because I had that sitting around anyways, all of a sudden each of those are worth, I think Illusion Staff is worth like 40 million, and then Wand of the Dark Fairy is worth like 60 million now. I would never be paying that amount for it, but because I was able to get it from the actual quests, it made it so much easier. Will I be doing much Neo in the future? If people like it, if people want to see me play more Neo, if people like the nostalgia trip, I would be happy to play more Neo. I have just kind of, been getting my streaming platform going little by little. Usually on Tuesdays, I'm playing Raft with a buddy of mine named Ben. And then I've been intermittently playing some Hades, but then I'm really open to anything. I like a lot of different games, but if people want to see it, I'm happy to take this trip down memory lane with people. So speaking of which, I had asked this question before. I am going to play a couple of games, not promising I'm going to be good at them because I really haven't played the games of Neopets in a while. But we can just continue this trip down memory lane. And do you have any in particular you'd like to try to see? You'd like to see me try to play, Lexi, since you were so kind to give me a follow and you've been hanging around here and talking Neopets with me for a little while. And again, we may be limited because if you didn't know, Flash disappeared, and they really didn't plan for it a lot. So hopefully, whatever game you're choosing is supported somehow. Oh yeah, I was looking up freezing. Let's see. While we're waiting on that, Go back and see trading posts and see if there are relative prices for freezing potions. Yeah, I spelled sort of lame this correctly. Apparently, they're just not for sale at the moment. How about a freezing potion? 2.3 million. Not too bad. I could probably do that. Maybe. If people want to see me battle some harder Battle Dome opponents, I might consider getting one of those. But right now, like I said, I'm trying to reach a goal of getting 100,000 in bank interest a day. So I think that's probably more. I don't know which is going to be more expensive, the H4000 helmet or the freezing potion. They hover between 2 and 3.5. Okay, that's fair. Not too bad. About the H4000. So my question is, why the difference between freezing potion? Oh, freezing potion does 2 icons. Okay, I was like, there's such a big rating difference between these two, but they both provide a 100% chance of freezing, and they're not something that can break. So okay, that makes sense. So a freezing potion gives a tiny bit of damage, so it's more than nothing, and then the H4000 gives nothing. Ooh, Lenny ray gun of freezing. Wait a second. They gave Lenny's 2 species 100% freezers? What? How is that balanced? The rating can be affected by the price of the helmet. Okay, good to know. But still, 2 100% freezers that are once for battles for Lenny specifically, the Entangling Lenny Lasso and the Lenny ray gun of freezing? Why? That what? I'm confused. I guess I shouldn't be that confused because knowing the history that even the Neopets team, the team that had control of Neopets before this, was notorious for not really understanding how to balance things effectively. But I figured that's kind of a no-brainer. Back in the day, you could equip more than one freezer at a time. Okay, but still, they're species dependent, though. I don't think there are any other species dependent everything. Oh, is Feather Alley still around? Use Ice Dice 2 times to defeat one of the war bosses. Yeah, because she defeated King Cass or something, right? Because she's the only one who has that one weapon, Sword of Cass, I think, or something. Yeah. Is Majal Kita still the top pet battle pet in Neopia? You know, I can look this up. Here, let's do this. Let's go over to this so that way we can just do some searching really quick. Top Neopet. Maybe top Battle Dome Neopets will search. Top 50 pets. Top 250, according to the Battlepedia. All right. I'm going to see. This is going to be a nostalgia trip for me because, like I said, I was getting into the Battle Dome originally, and I was relying pretty much solely on the Secret Lab Ray in order to get my stats up on my pets. But let's switch over to here. So I do remember Asian Angel 634. I do remember that one. But back when I was more reliably playing frequently, Majal Kita was the one to beat. So these guys have been doing some work. There's now 4. I remember Antorcha, but I don't remember Christian 7222003 or Bartholomew. Bartholomew? Means a decent name. But I don't remember either of those. So I don't know when they claimed their thrones. About a dozen people defeated Cass, but Garrett Jax was the only person named on the plot page since he was the first. Well, that's kind of lame. So, Lexi, you seem like you've been around for a while with Neopets lore as well. Were you a part of any of the Great Wars or anything? Yeah, for anybody who isn't familiar with just how dedicated some of the battlers are in the Neopets Battle Dome, if you thought that Moose, my primary battle pet, was strong, the number one Neopet, as listed by the In-Depth Battlepedia currently, is owned by Asian Angel, and they have 20,000 hit points, 2,200 strength, and a defense of 894. I think Moose only has like 73. But again, that's because the library doesn't give a lot of defense. So that is crazy. Oh, and oh my gosh, so it shows you how much they've changed since the last time they did these ratings. So I don't know. So last updated March 3rd. Oh, last updated March 3rd, 2016. That was 4 years ago. 5 years ago now, almost. You spent over 100 hours researching the two Dargon Wars. I'm a little crazy. Hey, little crazy is good. Crazy is what makes the world go round. As long as you have something you like, that's all that matters. Otherwise, we're just going to let chaos reign. Just channel says. What was that, Mrs. Aetherplasm? Crazy is inventive. Yeah, I was going to say some of the best inventions only existed because people were crazy. Not that you have to be an inventor, but never be down on yourself for being crazy. It's a good trait to have. If you were normal, you'd be boring. We don't like boring. Boring is too pedestrian. But now I'm interested because I will get to those games. I promise. For anybody who's watching and they just want to see me play some of these games, assuming that they're actually playable and the absence of Flash hasn't destroyed everything, I want to know what the most updated Battlepedia page is. I would assume it was the in-depth Battlepedia, but last updated almost 5 years ago. Here, let's switch over to chatting for a moment so we don't go and dox anything important or anything in my email history or anything. Let's these other pages have some better information. Because I thought a couple of people at least through the ages were kind of chronicling in their pet pages these various levels before places like In-Depth Battlepedia and everything existed. Now, it might stand to reason that they've been out of the game even longer, so they may have taken even less time to go and update things. But you'll have to wonder, because 2016, that's so long ago in Neopets terms. I mean, that's a decent amount of time in anybody's terms, but still. Top 100 Battle Dome. Oh, you know what? I do have an idea. I am on the Neopets Discord, and I think there's a Battle Dome channel. They might be able to point me in the right direction rather than me just aimlessly Googling things. So that's from that page is from 2015. That's not going to give me any better information. Top weapons, battling on a budget, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's not really turning up much information. I'm gonna hop over. All right, Lexi, feel free to come back whenever. Thank you for joining us for the time, and thank you for the follow. Hope you can come back soon. But let me hop over to the Neopets Discord here and see. Somebody has a comprehensive list of the top pets in Neopia. So this channel is not the most frequented, but I will post onto it and see if anybody can point me in the direction. Hello, does anybody have a more up-to-date list of the strongest pets in Neopia other than IDB, other than the Battlepedia, which claims it has not been updated since March 2016. We'll see if we get any responses. Looks like the last time somebody posted this. Oh, someone posted 19 minutes ago. So someone posted today, but before that, like 2 hours. So not that frequent. Again, some may say that the community for Neopets is dying. I hope not. I hope that it still stays around because it is incredibly nostalgic for a lot of people, myself included. And I really just hope that they can make some improvements and bring some people back to the game. I feel like it's not that far off. I feel like they don't have to do that much if they really just figured out what exactly drew people to the game in the first place. And in my opinion, that was plots and site events. It's one thing to have just a site with its own economy and its own systems for everything, which is great. It's very intricate. They put a lot of work into that in maintaining it, and I give them a lot of credit for that. But as far as drumming up interest, those plots, man, those site events that really force you. There were puzzles, there was battles, there was legitimate amount of time that had to be dedicated just to participate and be successful in them. And then they usually had really decent prizes if you were willing to put forth the effort. That was the big draw. And last time I looked, I mean, let's go and look at the news for Neopets over here. It's been a while, anyways. Mirka Chase. Select all the next. Ooh, so it's advertising Mirka Chase. It better let me play some Mirka Chase. I'm just saying, if I get over Mirka Chase and Flash is saying or lack of Flash is saying I'm gonna be mad because they're advertising it right here. We'll get there. I promise. Hold on. Okay, for the 9th of January. So they're still updating the news. That's a good start. Got an iOS device. We're looking for Neopians to participate in a week-long beta test of the iOS version of Neopets. Island Builders. Submit your email here to sign up. Oh, kind of cool. So they're trying to branch out. Okay, they're trying to do something different. Last call, Neopians. Today is the last chance to submit an entry for the current random contest. Submissions close at the end of the day. So if you're still working on one, make sure you send it in by tonight. Okay. Random contest. Latest issue of Neopian Times will be released later today. The Neopian Times sometimes has frequently asked questions, so we might have to check that out. Maybe there will be some information alluding to some site changes coming up. Beauty contest winners, art gallery, NC Mall news. They reused the image for the random contest twice. Maybe they do that already, and I just haven't paid attention. I don't usually do the random contest, but that's kind of a cool Norbu outfit. Mall news. Better Than You is Cast Basher. When was that? Is that this week? Ooh, so if that's true that Better Than You, we might have to play some Cast Basher. When I first started playing Cast Basher, it was on a laptop, and the trackpad was not very responsive. So I'm also don't have the best reflexes of the world. Sometimes I say I've got the reflexes of a dead cat, but maybe a keyboard and mouse will provide me a little bit more benefit beating in that game. So no real news about any major site events or anything coming up. But let's check out the Neopian Times, if there's any frequently asked questions. I think your question's answered. All right. So let's go through. There's only a few of them. Happy New Year, Neopians. I just wanted to give a friendly reminder that the Performing Arts Collab edition of the Neopian Times is coming up fast. If you are working on submissions for the collab edition, please send them in, blah, 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 blah. That's Aesop. Ooh, why does Aesop sound familiar? Maybe that was one of the old users that I used to know around. Okay. Happy New Year to you and the rest of TNT. I am fortunate enough to have a setup to play Flash games after the 12th of January, and so I was wondering, is it against the rules to send scores for, say, both Flash and HTML5 versions of the game? I was assuming it was and avoided to do so to be safe, so they're just asking about that. Yes, sorry, but this would fall under the same rules as playing mirror games. Please be sure to only play and send your score in either HTML5 version or classic version, but not both. Well, my computer forced me to remove Flash anyways, so I'm not going to be trying to do anything in Flash. Hello, TNT. I noticed that the National Neopian Bank Teller says, "Good evening, sir. Despite my gender being set to other, given the changes you have made recently for the LGBTQI plus community, is it possible to remove the sir part for counts of genders and other something like that?" Crestling. Hi, this should be updated in the new beta version that is out now. However, if you notice that they're the same place. Oh, that's cool. Making sure they're being inclusive. All right. Hello. I'm so sorry. I'm so happy to finally be able to be out on Neopets. I was wondering if this was... Oh, wait, because I think I remember there being something that was posted that they, like, unbanned a bunch of discussions. Because I think before the LGBTQIAP plus community was limited in any sort of discussions that they could have on Neopets because it was... I guess they were concerned about the appropriateness levels of things. Yada, yada, yada. Excuses. Either way, big change, so that's good. More inclusivity. I'm all for that. While I applaud your changes in the board rules, in less than 24 hours, I've noticed a slew of harassing messages. Okay, so these are all important questions, but they're not really talking about like site events. Right? With Flash coming to an end, what are the tentative plans for NC games? Nanogifts actually does Flash, blah, blah, blah. So nothing really alluding to any site events, but you know, nothing's perfect. So in the meantime, let's play some Cast Basher. Maybe. Ooh. In case anybody wants some nostalgia. How's that for a soundtrack? All right, we're gonna start with playing with Bread because it's been a while. If I remember correctly. That was awful. Okay, click anywhere to whack class again. Jump, and I think I want to hit him right on the tip of the nose. No, that's too. Nope. Boom. Oh, and you can affect his cape. I remember. Okay. Oh, swing and a miss. Wait a second. Okay, there's parts of this that I'm starting to remember. Oh, it's extremely loud, by the way. Oh, I apologize. I've been trying to make sure that I get the audio figured out in here. Let's see if this is a little bit better. Like 5 times as loud as you, maybe louder. Yes, I apologize. Does that fix it now? Or is it still really, really, really loud? Because I can just go ahead and mute the audio. I was trying to just include a little bit for nostalgic purposes. I'll see if Mrs. Aetherplasm is watching. Is the audio better with the most recent change? There we go. Get a good bounce going. Significantly better. Okay, I do apologize. I am fairly new to streaming in the first place. So if I need to change any of those things, please let me know. I will do my best to make it more pleasant to actually experience this rather than getting your ears blown out by significantly louder games and whatnot. All right. Record is 74. Ooh, there we go. Boom. Love it. So what I was saying before I realized that the volume was way too high is that I forgot that wind is a factor in this game. So we got 243, which is actually, that's pretty good for Bread, if I remember correctly. But 8 meters a second, we have to wait for it to blow the correct direction. Well. So, ooh, looks like it's going, and swing and a miss. Come on. Wind is good. I'm just overthinking it. There we go. Couple of good bounces. I also feel like I remember something about there being a glitch where every once in a while you'll pick up the tree and use that as your bat. But I don't know if there's a trick to get that to do it. $222, not bad, not bad. I think after this round, I've warmed up enough. I think I might move up to the next level of bat. Bread has a significant limitation. So restart game. Let's do with a stick. Significantly harder than Bread, at least most Bread. I mean, maybe an old baguette or something would be harder than a stick. But let's see if we can do this a little better. So we're going to wait for the wind. So this is our wind indicator. That's what reminded me of it. And it also tells me down here the speed. Not a glitch, just extremely rare. Also seems game is still louder than you, but still a lot better than it was. Interesting. Okay, I can turn this down even more. And let me see if I can turn up my mic volume a little bit. Compensate. Still a little loud. One of these days I will be better at it. I apologize. I mean, at this point, it's almost muted from what I can tell. But we'll see if that's any better. Threw it off the bat, 390. Boom. Stick. Immediately superior to bread. Fair enough, Lexi. Take your time. Just appreciate you hanging out with us this afternoon. I believe it's afternoon. It is afternoon. If it is continuing to be loud, I think I might just mute the display. That way it's not ear piercing. So we'll keep desktop audio muted for now. I'll mess with that more on a different day when I can get into it, just do a troubleshooting time. One of these days, I promise it will make sense. I try and I try and I try, tutorial to tutorial, trying to get audio things set up. But for people who are new to streaming, it's honestly one of the biggest hurdles is trying to figure out the balances of everything. And maybe there's a program that I haven't really come across yet that would kind of help iron things out that I just don't realize. But for now, I'm still waiting to see what. All right, restarting game. Let's play with the bat. Oh, wait. Oh, I need to unlock the bat. Okay, all right, fine. I see how it is. Back to the stick. We got 390 the first time with a stick, so I think we can get past that 450 and be able to unlock our bat friend. Not Batman, mind you. Did the sound still come through even though I had it muted? What is going on here? Hang on a second. Bear with me, everyone. I do greatly apologize. I'm pretty sure I had this muted. So, Elgato make here, Logitech. Oh, there's a second one of these on here. Maybe I'll do that too. Streamlabs is more intuitive than just straight OBS, but there are still some aspects of it which are rather difficult to understand if you have no knowledge going in. So I think what I did now, just fix it. I believe I've muted all of the possible places for desktop audio to come from. There should have only been one in the first place, but it is what it is. Okay. Back to batting. We needed to wait for the wind to change direction anyways, and it looks like it's starting to kind of go in our favor. If we can get it a little bit higher, I think it goes as high as 13, then we can definitely get these this Cass puppet flying. The key, got to make sure, boom, bounce, click as you hit, and you will go farther. What do we get? 560. Easy. Boom. And all just like that, we have unlocked the bat. So I don't think I have to send the score in order to unlock the bat. I do not. Okay, good. And the bat has spikes on it too. This is not a normal baseball bat. This is like a mace, a battle mace. And this little Cass puppet or plushie or whatever it is in for a world of hurt because we're going to smack it right out of this field. Maybe. Well, I mean, we will, but we have to wait for the wind. So that time when I restarted the game, I didn't think the game audio came through. So I think I finally effectively muted it. I can kind of hear because Mrs. Aetherplasm's in the kitchen with a puppy watching on her iPad. No, I was just kind of listening out of my other ear to hear if the game audio was coming through obnoxiously or if I had actually muted it. And I believe this time I actually muted it. Good. I want to have game audio, but if it's going to be atrocious and loud like that, then it doesn't really serve much purpose. Now, I wonder, I was going through here. I don't want to just spend all this time troubleshooting because I feel bad because that's on my end. That's not your guys' fault. I want, maybe if I turn this down really low too and keep it at the same. And then keep browser really, really low. Ooh, you know, I bet it was browser. I bet browser was what was too loud because before when I play games, I don't play them in browser. So I'm going to, you know, I'll mess with that more later. I have this personality trait where I want to fix things and I want to get them done. So that way they're better for everybody. But I think that's just better use of my time right now to leave that muted and just continue with Some cast bashing. Oh, thank you. 933. New personal record. I think. I don't know if it was my actual record. The farthest whack that is recorded right now is 933, and I think that is amazing. So we're going to go ahead. We'll send that score. And it gives over 1,000 Neopoints. Oh, so it can't be that great because I think the maximum you can receive in any single game is 5,000. But let's keep batting around. I wonder what the better than you challenge is. How high I have to get. What score do we need? What are we trying to beat to actually get this trophy this week? The search not actually going to work. Great, the search button. You guys can't see, but I'm clicking a little search thing up here in the top. And it wasn't actually letting me search for anything. It's still not. Works real effectively. Can I get to news? Anything? No? All right, let me search for it on Jelly Neo. Better than you. Game. Well, at least I can get to the news now. Maybe if I scroll down and it'll tell me what score I need to beat. What score we're aiming for today. So this week's challenge is better than you. Go now there to submit your score. So 20,000 NP. So we need to beat 1,171. I think we can do it. I think we can beat 1,171. I don't know that we'll get the trophy because I think it's whoever beats it first. So wait, 0 people have already beaten the blue. Nobody's beaten it. We just got 933. That was only 200 meters off from where we need to go. Let's see if we can make this happen. This might be one of the first significant challenges that this stream has ever faced, and we're going to see if we can make it happen. If the wind can actually go the right direction, that might be beneficial, but only time will tell. In my experience, negative wind and blowing towards me does not help the cast fly farther. We're waiting. We're waiting. Waiting on the world to change. That was probably off key. I apologize. And I wonder, I have not seen any bit of Benjamin stopping by to view the stream that he specifically requested. I mean, I guess he can always come by later and check it out, watch the recording of it, but I'm just shaming him right now for the fact that he's not actually here. A little bit of some agua. While we're waiting on that wind to increase a little bit, because I think it needs to be up to 9 or 10 if we're getting anywhere near close to that better than you challenge. Oh, we're getting there. Okay. Stay at 9. Stay at 9 for me. 7, 8. There we go. Let's go. You gotta wait for the top of your arc and able to be able to let them sit and bounce. How far did we get? Survey says 1327. Easy peasy. Boom. That was like the second try that we did that. Look at 1327. I think that beats the better than you challenger. I am fairly certain because tell me if I'm wrong. They scored 1171 in this week's challenge in Cast Basher. And that could be mine. Click here for more info on prizes. Because it's whoever beats them first. The first 10 people, yeah. But it says 0 people have already beaten it. Is that because they're waiting, it's messed up with the flash and everything? Or because, I don't know. Either way, I just beat it. So it is on stream that I have beaten this week's better than you. Which to me is impressive because I haven't played it in a long time. But hey, I think we should give ourselves a pat on the back for that one. I'm proud of you for being here. I'm proud of me for kicking butt, smashing that cast across the field. Let's see how far we can go. That was almost too easy. They said the better than you was 1100, and we just easily got to 1300. I do play Food Club daily, Lexi. I on Discord, they there is a Neopets channel, and that channel has a Food Club sub channel. No, there's a Neopets server with a Food Club channel, and then I follow bets from JK Rolling Down is the name of his. He's on there. Highly recommend. But yes, I do. I could show you my my Food Club. Let's do this. Show you my Food Club results. Let me get back to Jelly Neo here for a second to my dailies. Go back to the game. Oops, this one. There we go. Still learning my stream deck. Food Club. So my bets are in, but bet history. Total of. Oh, you follow Garrett's bets. Yeah. Yeah, Garrett also does. Oh, so the Garrett who does Food Club was the first to defeat Cass. Oh, okay. All right. I never put two and two together. So last I heard that Garrett updates his Food Club bets on his pet page. And that's why most of the time I just do Discord because it's a lot easier for me to just follow through there and then click and go through. But JK Rolling Down is, I mean, the majority of the 32 million difference here that I've won from Food Club rallies is pretty much solely due to him. So he's a magnificent Food Club player, that's for sure. And then one thing, I was playing with this while I was waiting, and I remembered, got this really, really cool D% today, which is a 100-sided dice. The reason why this is beneficial is because in the D&D campaign that I'm a part of, and Benjamin, who's the DM for that D&D campaign, when he eventually watches this video, will see that I now have a D%, is because this channel supports chaos. And in the D&D campaign, I have a character who is a big fan of chaos. And in order to have chaos reign, I had to have a weapon called the Wand of Wonder, which for my character is changed a little bit into something called I call it the Cannon of Wonder. Because I'm a turtle with cannons. I'm basically Blastoise. It's pretty cool. But he went and purchased an extended list of Wand of Wonder options. The way the Wand of Wonder works is first you declare what you're pointing it at, and then you roll a d20. And depending upon that d20, it classifies the level of effect that you get. So it can be either common, uncommon, rare, or very rare. Very rare is if you get a nat 20 on your d20 roll. After you roll that to decide what level of effect, there is something like close to 1,000 different total effects that could happen that are very, very random in nature. And in order to do that, you have to roll a D%, in which case, usually what I would do is roll 2d10 and then make the percentage off of that. Now, I literally can just roll one dice and find out what the percentage is for the chaotic Cannon of Wonder. And to give you an idea what happened the last campaign, which was on Thursday, or the last session, I received a rather large assault rifle with D&D rules because of some loot that I found, which I immediately rolled shooting my Cannon of Wonder at it to see what would happen. And it turned my assault rifle into a sentient weapon with a random personality trait, which my DM, Ben, determined was a depressed mood and sometimes a little bit trigger-happy personality, so I now have to persuade the weapon to fire, not just point it at something and pull the trigger. So, just a little side note, not quite Neopets related in any way, shape, or form, but highly entertaining. I'm a big fan of what they call clicky-clacky math rocks anyways. Lots of different dice, lots of different types. My favorite one is this little sucker right here. This is actually an aluminum purple D20. Machine milled, so it's perfectly even in every single way, perfectly balanced. Thanos would be proud it's purple and balanced. But I digress. In which case, let's get back to Cast Basher. I have a feeling it's glitched. I have a feeling that better than you. Yeah, because it says 0 people have already won, and maybe it starts on a different day, and I'm not aware of that because I'm not used to those mechanics. But I obviously wholeheartedly and easily obliterated that challenge just now. You all saw it. You were here. It's recorded. Twitch has got it recording. Let there be no doubt. But I'm not on that list, so. Yeah, it's probably bugged. I know. But in my dreams, in my mind, my soul, I know that I was better than that blue bloomer. That's what matters, right? At the end of the day. All right, let's bash this cast again. I did not wait for the wind. That was what you call a rookie mistake. At least it was in my favor in some form. 423. Yeah, huge difference. That's why if you ever wait and you're able to get that wind up to 13, again, I think it tops at 13, you can get such an insanely far hit that there's really nothing that can beat it. Yeah, 1356. Maybe that was our last one. I actually click too fast and I didn't see what the little turtum came over to say was. The other thing is that if you ever get the tree as your bat and you wait for the wind to get to 13, holy cow. That's like where people get their world record scores from. Sitting around about 5. So what do you think, Lexi? Do you think they'll ever do any more plots or site events again? Because I'm trying to remember what the actual, besides like the Altador Cup that they do every year, I'm trying to remember what the actual like last involved plot was. I think it was the obelisk, which really didn't end up being a plot so much as just like a weekly Battle Dome tournament. Which, don't get me wrong, cool idea, but not quite the same as, say, like the Lost Desert or the Pirate Caves or the Moroccan War or anything like that. You know? All right, I feel like this is going to be a good one. 1335, not quite 1356, but still quite respectable. It's another solid hit, another solid run. Not quite as many bounces as I wanted. 1318. Yeah, I knew the bounces just weren't quite there on that one. Couldn't get the timing quite right. I thought it was at 9, but I hit it at 8. Yeah, that one's not going to be nearly as long. Yep, 949. Stay at 9. And I miss. Swing and a miss. Swing, bada, 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 swing. Come on, jump up there. I believe in you. All right, here we go. Bounce, 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 bounce. And Verdict says only 1040. Oh, I guess it switched to 7 meters a second while we were in the air. Needs to like maintain at 9. I feel like that was a pretty decent hit. All right, staying about 9 meters a second, so that helps. And bounce, 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 bounce. Any luck? 1067? Man. Well, at least, you know, I peaked early because all the rest of this is just slightly disappointing. Stay at 9. Get that cast up there. See, it's back down to 7. It was at 9 when I hit it. 1296. That's much more respectable. Okay. All right. That's pretty close to 1300. That's close enough for me. We will go ahead and send that score right there and close. We're going to go back to the games room to pick something else. I think, let's see. Maybe we'll play Maybe we'll play Hossy Bounce. I feel like I remember that there was an old cheat for Hossy Bounce where if I typed donut fruit really quickly, it would give me extra time. Right now, let's just focus on getting a nice solid run. Ah, man. Hate hitting those piles of barf. Oh, wow, I forgot that the mouse controls. I thought that was arrow controlled. Gold donut fruit, gimme, 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 gimme. And silver, boom. That was the old switcheroo, we call that in the pro gaming world, in the Hossy Bounce. Getting one on the way down and one on the way up. Boom. Love it. And I seem to remember, so you have to get the letters, but if you can get all the same color letters, you actually get a higher time boost. I gotta worry about that too much right now, because I just think getting the letters in general would be beneficial. Flaming donut fruit. All right. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious. Fish donut fruit. Oh my gosh. No. Oh. I dropped the ball on that one completely. That was like missing a fish neg in Mirka Chase. Went from looking like a pro gamer to looking like a noob in 30 seconds flat. But hey, that's how the chaos works. I really feel like it was all the orange Hossy's fault anyways. I feel like the purple one was really pulling his weight there. The orange one was completely slacking. All right. That was okay. I wonder though, there was a game that I used to really like. You know, let's just go straight for Mirka Chase. Why are these the only ones available? Are these the only games I can play right now? Let's look. Bet I have the direct URL through here. Chase 2 Electric Boogaloo. Play game. See, it's taking me back to the Flash site. I wonder. Yep. The Flash one, it's not going to load it. Well, wait. Maybe. Have an ad. Might not be out of luck just yet. Okay. All right. All right. I'll sit through the lovely ad. Yabba Dabba Twirl. Fruity Pebbles is still a thing? My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. They made me sit through an entire 15-second ad. That's 15 seconds of my life that I cannot get back. Just to tell me that Mirka Chase is incapable of being played without Flash Player. That's a pretty low blow. Not only can I not play it, but they teased me. They teased me first with an ad to make me think, to give me hope that I could still do it. Just to shove this lovely Flash tombstone right into my face and crush my dreams. Oh well. Let's see what we can do. So I'm guessing what that means then is out of the multitude of games that were previously available in Neopets, and I mean it felt like there were hundreds. These 7 are currently the only ones that you can play because of the lack of Flash. HTML games still work, but Flash, I removed Flash from this computer, and I don't really feel like reinstalling it and then putting it back. Oh, NeoQuest 2, for example. Cell block. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Do, 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 do. Ooh, it's been a while since I played cheat. Play some cheat. We'll do that. Neo. And then we will go back to the game. But still, that was pretty cruel. That was a pretty cruel trick. Cruel trick to play. Okay. You can play cards of any value this turn. So, here's the secret about cheat. I remember really enjoying this game. I don't remember how to play it at all. So I probably should have actually looked at the rules on Jelly Neo before I clicked it. But Lexi, do you remember how to play cheat? Did you give me a quick rundown here? Nope. No. Not you, Alexa. Alexa, cancel. I guess I could also just look it up too. I think I'll look it up. Let's do this. This. All right. How to play. I'll read this out loud for everybody in the stream watching in case there's someone waiting with bated breath to find out just exactly how to play cheat. So in cheat, each round begins with a deck of 52 cards split evenly between the 4 players, you and 3 computer opponents. Giving each 13 random cards. The number of cards each player currently has is displayed under their name. To play, click on up to 4 of the cards in your hand, then select a card value from the drop-down menu. On the first turn of the game, and when someone else has been accused of cheating on the turn before yours, you will be able to select any value from the drop-down. At any other time, you will have only 3 choices: the same value as the last card played, or the values above or below it immediately. The cheating aspect lies in the fact that the cards and values selected don't have to be the same. When your cards are played, they're played face down in a pile, with other players only aware of the value that you claim to have played. The goal of the game is to discard your entire hand, and since the cards you must play are dictated by what was played on the turn before yours, you will often have to cheat to win. You can also cheat simply to reduce the number of cards in your hand more quickly. Don't be obvious about it. Okay. I think I get it. I think I played a game like this before. I think we called it, what did we call it? It was some form of poker or something. Obviously, it wasn't real poker, because real poker is completely different. But I feel like I've played something like this besides cheat itself. So the first round, we can play something of any value. We can select the card value. So the amount of cards that we click, so if we click 4 of them, it'll be like, oh, I've got 4 aces, and they could decide if I was cheating or not. And I imagine if they catch me cheating, I have to like pick up the pile. And I have the opportunity to try to catch them cheating as well. So let's go back to the game. And let's start off with something easy. I'm betting that aces will probably be a good place to start. Select card value, aces. We got 2 aces. Start easy. Kapara the Kiri accused me of cheating, but Moose was not cheating. Ha! That's what you get, suspicious little fool. Now you get to add the pile to your hand. I mean, come on. First turn, and they're going to come out swinging like that? Serves them right. Now they're putting down 2 sevens. So we got to remember that the Kapara the Kiri has 2 aces now. At least, unless they put them down right now and claim that they're 2 sevens. We have 2 sevens. Can't really claim that they're cheating because we don't really have anything to go off of to know that they are. You know, it's fairly safe bet that they're making. So I'm gonna let them slide. No one accused Kapara the Kiri of cheating. Another sip here, real quick. So little Timmy the Tuscanini played 3 sixes. Well, I have no sixes, so I don't really have a ground to stand on to say that he's cheating. So I'm going to let him slide. Fair? Apparently nobody else thought so either. Branston the Erie played 4 sixes. Okay, that seems a little bit suspicious to me. I'm going to go ahead and accuse him of cheating. And I did. Caught him cheating. Branston the Erie gets the pile added to their hand, and I get 8 Neo points for catching the cheater. I mean, come on, man. 6 sixes or 4 sixes when the guy before you claimed to have played 3. You're not really using some critical thinking skills here. Some might even say you might be a little bit bird-brained, Branston. Okay, my hand. There's 0 cards in the pile. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be truthful. I'm gonna say that I've got dose 5s. And again, what is this? What did I do to deserve this sort of treatment? Kapara the Kiri accused Moose of cheating. Not cheating. Maybe this time you'll learn. Okay. Kapara, I don't know. Played 2 4s. I have no 4s, so I'm going to let it slide. Apparently everybody believed her. Maybe they're just afraid of getting on our bad side because he's already just, accusation happy over here. Little Timmy the Tuscanini played 3 3s. I have 1 3. So technically that adds up. However, given the fact that Branston over here has 18 cards and Capra has 13, I'd say there's a decent chance statistically that little Timmy the Tuscanini is cheating. So we're going to take a chance. We're going to make an educated guess here. And we're going to accuse little Timmy Tuscanini of being a dirty, rotten cheater. And he was a cheater! And I get another 8 Neo points. Thank you very much. So, Branston, the bird-brained Erie, played 2 3s. He just copying the number of whatever was played before him. I mean, I have nothing to say of what Timmy the Tuscanini's actual hand was when he played that. But at the same time, he just... Timmy the Tuscanini plays 6s. Bird-brained Branston plays 6s. Timmy the Tuscanini plays 3s. Bird-brained Branson plays 3s. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh on him, but that does not seem like a solid tactic to you. I am not going to accuse him of cheating, though. I only have 1 3. Not nearly as obvious. I mean, he's got so many cards. It's very, very possible he could have 2 3. So that means I have to play either a 2, a 3, or a 4. You know what? Oh! I am an imbecile and deserve all the judgment right now because I completely forgot one of the main facts is that you have to play based upon whoever played before you. So the reason why he was choosing 6s isn't because he's bird-brained, even though when he tried to play 4 6s after 3 6s were allegedly played, that was a bad choice. But you only get 3 options if someone wasn't caught cheating beforehand. And that means that he was going with his options. So I sincerely and heartfeltly apologize, Branston the Erie. You may not be as bird-brained as I once thought you were. I'm going to go ahead and play my 3. What a surprise. I might as well just call her Karen the Curie. Karen the Curie because she's so accusatory. She doesn't even give me a chance. Anytime I play anything. Like, this is how it's going to be. I'm just going to accuse you of cheating all the time. Okay. Played 1 4. Nope, that's fine. They played 3 4s. I don't have a 4. I'm going to let them slide. And 2 3s. All right, Branston. Yep, you made that one obvious on yourself. Too easy. It's just math, man. It's just math. If I play a 3 and then Capra says that she plays a couple of 3s, and then you come back and you say that you play a bunch of 3s, one of us is cheating. I know it wasn't me. It might have been Capra, but either way, you're not, you know, being real strong with your strategy here. So that means I can play whatever I want. Let's do 2 10s. And for once, no one accused me of cheating. This is such a wonderful feeling. I never thought I would experience this in this game because I was being so unnecessarily accused of cheating. Even though the game's called cheat, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to cheat to win. Maybe I will, but I didn't do it yet. 4 9s. Okay. All right. I am not a mathematician here, but I do have to say the fact that I happen to have a 9 right here leads me to believe that there's like a 60-40 chance here that she is probably lying about having played 4 9s herself. So I'm going to go ahead and get her cheating butt caught. Little Timmy Tuscanini played 3 queens. I have 0 queens. So I have 0 qualms about little Timmy Tuscanini playing the queen. Branson the Erie played 1 king, which is completely fine with me. And I don't really see them accusing each other that much of these things. So what is this, 1 on 3? Why aren't they accusing each other of these cheating tendencies of theirs? We're going to go for 1 king, because I do have one. It is truthful. Guess what? Guess who's probably going to be accused? Ooh, 2 times in a row. Maybe they learned their lesson after unnecessarily getting a pile added to their hand for falsely accusing me of cheating. 3 queens. I'm going to go ahead and say cheat. Yep. Too obvious. Go for like 2. 2, I mean, 2 is believable. Yeah, you got a lot of cards in your hand, but somebody already tried 3 queens. And they might have been cheating. Who knows? But it just doesn't look good when you go in that order, you know? 1 2. Ooh, I'm neck and neck with Timmy the Tuscanini here. I got no reason to call him a cheater right now, but we are neck and neck for those cards. At least there's a healthy distance between 3rd and 4th place over here from 1st and 2nd, but man, might be close. Oh, they can accuse each other of cheating. Well, there you go. That's a nice, pleasant surprise. But guess who was falsely accusing people of cheating? Kapara the Kiri. Lorenzen the Erie played 2 7s. I have 2 7s, so that's fine with me. And then that means I get to play 2 more 7s. And this time, I really wouldn't blame someone if one of these fine individuals decided to think that I was cheating this round because there were just 2 7s played. Now I'm saying I have 2 7s. Mathematically, yeah, I could see where they come up with that. You know, this is one of those times where there's a reasonable chance that I could be cheating if I'm just playing the redundant numbers. I'm not. But okay, fair. Left me alone. I'll take it. do. Continue. Kapara played 2 7s. All right. Let's get back to the math thing again. Branson played 2 7s. Whether or not he actually played 2 7s, I don't know. I believed him because I only had 2 7s. Then I played 2 7s. Now Capra's playing 2 7s. So either Branson was lying or Capra's lying. I'm going to guess, and maybe the algorithm is set up this way to make me believe it because she's been so accusatory this entire time to trick me into accepting this. But I have to say that she does not seem like the most trustworthy individual, so I'm going to go ahead and accuse her of cheating. I knew it! Let chaos rain down upon you, Capra the Kiri, for your cheating ways. Little Timmy the Tuscanini played 4 3s. I find that highly suspect. Because Timmy the Tuscanini hasn't picked up any cards this entire time. And I know that I've played 3s that were either now in the hand of Capra or Branston. So I'm going to say he's acting kind of sus right now. So we're going to go ahead and accuse him of cheating. What a surprise. In fact, he was cheating, which opens up the lead a little bit more because now he's stuck at 5 and we're at 3. And Branston played a 3, which is really good for us. I'm going to let him slide. I don't care if it's only one card of the 3 because I have a 2. It means I don't have to cheat. Ooh, you know what I could do? I could do something real risky right now. I could do something really risky, which is I could claim to have 3 2s. To see if I can pull a fast one on these folks. Because if they make me pick it up, I'm only up 1 card. So I'd be at 4, and the next closest is 5 with Little Timmy Tuscanini. So I'm not in that much hot water. And you know me. I think this time, ladies and gents, we're going to have to let chaos reign, and we're going to see what the random generated gods have for us today. Because people tell me that there's an algorithm that these NPCs use in order to determine if you're cheating or not. I say they're literally just rolling a random number back there to determine if they're going to accuse or not accuse. So we'll see. But worst case scenario, we're only up 1 extra card. And I won. I did it. I am the champion. First game back to cheat, and boom, only cheated once, but swept them all. Not to toot my own horn, but those are 100 pretty hard-earned Neo points that I just got there. Quick to go to difficulty 2. It now occurs to me that I may have been ostentatiously gloating about beating the easiest level of cheat. So I'm going to let you guys make your own judgments about that. And I'll pretend that I didn't see that there's more than one difficulty. Oh, goodness. Goodness. It was fun, though. Very nostalgic. I love these old games. They are completely worth every minute and ridiculousness of participating in them. That is for certain. Okay, let's see. We will try ice cream machine. And then I think at that point, we might call it a day for Neopets. I've got some other games. I might be streaming. I might switch over and do some Hades. I've been really digging that way recently, and I've gotten farther than I ever have so far in Hades. That sounded kind of good after a short break. I need an overlay for a pause. I've got the intermission chat, but I don't have just like a please hold. Your call is important to us. I'll have to work on that as one of the things. Maybe I'll tackle that tomorrow. But the piece de resistance, the ice cream machine. So, the funny thing about the ice cream machine, I'm just now remembering this. So back in the day, I used to play the ice cream machine a lot. And I found out not necessarily a cheat, but an exploit for it. And it was completely unintentional. But I was doing quite well at it for a while, and I was wondering why on certain computers I would do better than other computers. Specifically, I mentioned earlier in the stream, we didn't really have that reliable of internet initially at my house when I was growing up. So I would go to either the school, the after-school programs, and play on the computers there. Or once I was old enough, I would actually walk to the public library, which was only a few blocks from my house, where they had internet. Now, the public library, they had a setup, you guys may remember it if you've ever been to them, where they had like maybe 20 or 30 computers all in rows or whatever, and you could sign up and check one out, and then you have like a time limit. You could play for or do something on it for an hour before you had to make sure you weren't taking it from somebody else who needed it. But because of that, and because of the technology of the time, they weren't the fastest with their internet, nor were they with their loading times or anything like that in general as far as computer processing goes. Well, fun fact, when you have a really, really low frame rate and processing speed, this game is a lot easier because it goes really slow. So I noticed that if I'd go play at the library, I would do extremely well because of slow internet speeds. But now that I have fast internet, I'll probably be horrible at it. So we'll see. Ice cream does actually sound really good right now that I'm watching all these things go through. I said ice cream does sound good. I think Mrs. Aetherplasm heard me when I said that. It does sound good, right? Just all of a sudden, like, I know that it's 30 degrees or colder outside right now because I'm living in the frozen north. But at the same time, it kind of sounds good right now that I'm playing Ice Cream Machine. Right? I think that's an official sign that you are a true northerner now because Mrs. Aetherplasm's back over there in the kitchen hanging out with the puppy. Our 11-and-a-half-week-old puppy. And she says that she grew up in the southern part of the United States, and then her family moved up to the frozen north that we're in now. And she always thought that she'd be, a summer kind of girl because of where she grew up. Well, she just now stated that she thinks she's finally completely acclimated to being a northerner because of the fact that she also will randomly crave ice cream in the middle of the winter. And that is technically a true sign of being a northerner when you want something cold to eat when it is frigid outside. Exactly. All right, round two. Gonna shrink a little bit here. Mm-hmm. I don't have to worry about music copyright issues because I'm not making any money on this stream. I'm just having a good time so I can sing whatever I want. Easy peasy. These first few rounds, just a warm up. Just strolling on through. None of these ice cream can hit me. I feel like those are boons that I'm supposed to try to click or try to get to. Some of those, I don't think I'm supposed to eat the topping ones. I think I'm supposed to let the toppings go through. But it has been a while. I could hold my head up high. It's been a while, but the fish just hit me and it gave me a bonus. So maybe I'm supposed to try to hit some of the ones with the toppings. I might try it. Might take a risk. Walk on the wild side. Join the dark side. Okay, that hitbox was a little bit messed up. I don't believe that was a fair thing, but it gives me a chance. It gives me a chance to try some of these topping things again. All right, hit me with that strawberry. Okay, so the ones with the topping, we now know, for folks who are paying attention at home, the ones with the toppings are ones that we do not want to get hit by. They are not an actual boon. Now, the fish one was kind of like a fish neg, and that helps. So this plus, I don't really know what that does, but it did something. Stay away from the toppings. And the ones that are like solid color or something else are modifiers of some sort. Okay, all right. Vanilla. Get a poll going in chat. What's your favorite ice cream flavor or ice cream type? It doesn't have to be just a flavor, because technically Moose Tracks isn't. I mean, it is a flavor, but it's also more of a type of ice cream. Because if you look at the base of ice cream, you can get like vanilla, strawberry, whatever. What's your favorite type of ice cream? I guess someone could technically say like Dippin' Dots. So anybody in the chat, please put in your answers now. Mm. Dippin' Dots is cool. Like I like the what's it called? The novelty of them. However, yeah, the texture is really cool. I feel like because of the way they freeze them, though, they lack a little bit of flavor. Hello, Benjamin. You missed it. I sent you a notification and everything, but you know what? The lovely thing about Twitch is that it records the stream, so you'll be able to see basically 3 hours of Neopets specifically. So you should be excited about that. You were working on the deck. How was decking around going for you? Bum 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 bananam bum ba bum bananam bum bum bananam bum ba bum bananam bananam bum bananam bananam bum bananam bum bum bananam bum badum bum bum bum. Another one bites the dust. Bum bum bum. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get you through. Another one bites the dust. Do 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 do. Sorry, just got headphones. What do you say? Oh, I said, Benjamin, welcome to the stream. You did miss a good amount of it because I have. This is the longest stream I've done to date. I'm actually proud of myself. I've had the stamina to do this. But we've been streaming Neopets content for roughly 3 hours now, per your request. So I know. I guess you were off doing adult responsibilities, something in fact, and you missed that we actually had several other random viewers who I don't know who they were, and it was really lovely of them to stop by and converse a little bit about Neopets. And a couple of them asked if I was going to be doing more Neopets in the future. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have to do Neopets a little bit at certain times. I don't know that I'm going to be doing it for 3 hours at a time like I did today, but you know, it's been fun. It's been a good time. Yeah, I got a couple of follows too. It was really, really good. Really, really good. Oh, and my alerts are working now, which is also very cool. So I wonder if I do this and this. I think I have the sound turned off from these games. We'll see. I was having an issue with the audio coming from the games being exorbitantly loud. So I ended up just muting the desktops for now until I can mess with them a little bit more and figure out just exactly what's wrong with them. I'll probably mess with that tomorrow. Did you already go over the Eldritch monstrosity that is your Neopet? The Eldritch monstrosity. Why is Moose an Eldritch monstrosity? The whole rebuilt it every day from the old war stuff. I'm missing the reference. I mean, I shot it with a lab ray a bunch of times, so that it's basically, you know, a mutant of some form or another, but it's really strong. I await your response with bated breath. All right, on to blueberry ice cream, I believe the blue is. The Superman is multicolored. This is just. I'm blue, da boo dee da boo die, da boo dee da boo die, da boo dee. Ow! I remember you got it. Whoop. Hang on a second. Can't get distracted by chat. The lives are not over yet, and it automatically restarts after you get ice creamed in the face. Staying alive, staying alive. There was a time when I was so broken hearted. La da 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 da. Oh, wanna go mini? There we go. Mini, 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 mini. Cherry bomb. Oh, strawberry bomb, not cherry bomb. Ooh, cherry bonus. Like a cherry on top. Get ready for the next level. Vanilla chocolate chip. Okay. That'll give me a second. What do we say in chat? I remember you got it super powerful from the library, which makes it super powerful. And doing that daily for several years means it should be a god. Basically. Oh, so you mean like an elder god as Eldritch Hoarder, not like monstrosity. I see what you're saying. Yes. I mean, it's still there. I was smashing up an innocent Battle Dome opponent for a little while earlier. And I tried to explain everything really well too. So, Ben, if you want to get back into Neopets, I feel like I gave a pretty good tutorial over a lot of the things, how they work and why they're so enjoyable. So if you need help setting up your account, you let me know. Mini, can I be? Ooh, I'm extra mini. Mini. All right, the focus is real. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Oh, they did hit me. They did hit me with their best shot. I will rewatch. Strawberry bomb. Keep wanting to go and check chat because I'm trying to be better at checking chat, but then at the same time, I forget that after getting ice cream, it just auto starts. Staying away from the plus size. You do not want to be plus size. Fish. Woo. Okay, let's see. A little pause between rounds. I will rewatch. I just know there's an omelet, and that's about it. That's fair. There's an omelet. There's jelly. I mean, there isn't a jelly, depending upon who you ask. But you will see in the rewatch. Ooh, Neapolitan ice cream. Still waiting for people in chat to tell me what their favorite type of ice cream is. Fish. Not fish ice cream, hopefully. But, I mean, hey, to each their own. Someone on social media I saw was making basil ice cream. I don't know that that would be my thing, but more power to them. Wow, I feel like there've been an inordinate amount of extra lives that I've received through this. I feel like I'm not quite so deserving of these extra lives. This was my first experience with shmup games, basically, by the way, and like bullet hell games. Was Ice Cream Machine on Neopets. That's why I don't know that I'd be that great at shmups. Fish food. Fish food by Ben & Jerry's is very good. Making dinner now. Italian Wonder Pot. I am a fan of some Wonder. Did you get the ingredients from the Wonder Wall? Speaking of dinner, oh yeah, I did have lunch. I had Subway for lunch. I gotta figure out what I'm actually having for dinner. Food is good. Fish. Extra life. As long as I know how to love, I know I will survive. Whew, this peach ice cream, I tell you. There's a reason why I don't like it. No, I don't. This is not pudding. What is it? I feel like my frames are dropping and it's making it harder on me. At least that's the excuse that I'm making up for my poor performance. Ah! Last life. Oh, nope. That was the last life. Okay. Sending the score. That's respectable. First time back in 7,100. Very, very, very good. See, one play today. One play today. I may be up for some more raft. Maybe tomorrow evening. Well, that's fair. I was going to potentially stream some Hades after this. Unless you were coming along and saying like, oh my gosh, Aetherplasm, we really, really, really need to stream raft tonight for some unknown reason. So yeah, there's that. I wonder what Tim the Enchanter's doing too. See if there's anything he wants to play. Oh my gosh, I haven't checked my phone in forever and I have so many messages. Feel like it's what? Oh, right. Yeah, I'm glad that I took a break from my phone. Nothing's negative here. Thankfully. It's just did not check it. Okay, I'm gonna send Tim the Enchanter a note. Nothing new from the real estate agent. If you hear me talking, I'm talking to Mrs. Aetherplasm in the background here. Because we are in the process of buying a house. Very, very exciting. But there's a lot of steps and extra T's to dot and I's to cross and J's to circle, something like that, right? But making sure we have all our ducks in a row and our kitties in a line and our puppies in a circle and that kind of stuff. We're tentatively scheduled to close on the 18th of January. Very exciting. In which case, I have actually ordered some monitors for what will be my battle station because the computer I'm on right now is actually Mrs. Aetherplasm's, and I will have my own effective battle station, which will also be incredibly exciting. Just checking through the important emails here to make sure there isn't anything that I missed. 18th is free. Wow, free at 7. Am I free at 7? Is that what you're asking, Ben? 18th is soon. Yes, 18th is soon. Yeah, we're very excited. We're not necessarily going to be moving. Well, I mean, we will be moving, but we won't be getting everything out of here because our lease doesn't end at the apartment until the end of March. So we get to kind of casually move, but we can move like necessities over there and, you know, get some of the furnishing going and then have the painting done and stuff in the meantime and kind of live out of there, but then also, you know, just come back to move stuff in trips. If I want to raft, you can do 7. Okay. Yeah, we could try for 7. We could try for 7, see how that goes. I am going to probably pause this for a moment. I'm going to be switching over to Hades then. Wait, I still got to text Tim the Enchanter. See if he's up for anything, because maybe he'll want to play some Don't Starve or something. We shall see. But he's usually very busy, so I don't anticipate that being a thing. Oh, one thing, Benjamin, before I do take this pause and go and switch over to Hades, I'll have to change the stream info. So I think all I'll probably do is like end this stream and then start another one because I don't know how to change the stream info mid game or mid stream. Sorry, buffer, test widgets, notification. Yeah, I don't know how to change that midstream. I could look it up. We'll see. But look what I got today. Do you know what this means for the Canon of Wonder? Exactly. And it doesn't fit down the dice tower. As you can see. Lovely dice tower. So I'll have to roll it on something else, but, you know, we'll persevere. I have faith that we will find a solution. Even if I have to roll it on the floor. Or in a shoebox or something. Who knows? All right, so let me get Neopets put away. Close all this stuff. And then... Fair enough. Let me get Hades open in the background. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Ugh. So, for anybody watching the stream right now, Hades, the game, seems to have a mind of its own. In the fact that it keeps wanting to switch between my monitors. I have a dual monitor setup right now. It keeps wanting to switch to the monitor that I don't have it set up for. Like, I specifically have it set up to be on my other one, so that way when the stream is captured, it's in the appropriate place. And I don't understand why it randomly just decides to open on a different site. Oh, wait. I think there's a shortcut. Trying to remember if this is it. Function this, control this, alt this. Nope, none of those things. There's a hotkey that I got to figure out. How to switch monitor of game. Run the game in window mode and drag it to the screen that you want. Set the second monitor as primary monitor. In Windows, you can drag the taskbar. Some games allow you which monitor to open a game. Windows keyboard shortcuts. This is valuable. Because I fixed this before. I was playing Hades just fine last night. The puppy's trying to take a boot with her out the door. Like, look what I found. Run away! Oh my goodness, she's adorable. How to make Steam games open a second monitor. Switch the primary and secondary monitors. I don't want to do that. Switch to projector mode. Press the Windows and projector second screen only. So I had a way to do this yesterday that was easier. I'm just gonna, I guess, switch to windowed mode, which might make the game look a little bit weirder, but it is what it is. Chaos reigns anyways, and I guess this is just its own funny way of treating me to some chaos when I'm trying to get my stream going. Let's see. Go to options, settings. Display. We'll go to windowed mode. Set it to windowed mode. Not even giving me Windows. What the heck? Like I set it to windowed mode. I am very confused. Could run on a window. I set it to windowed mode, and it's not letting me move it. Like there's no window bar that comes with it. And usually it's always maybe there's a Steam setting that I can have it that somehow got changed for like play of the games. So in game overlay shortcut keys, screenshot shortcut keys. If anybody else is here kind of watching me struggle through this, I do apologize. It's probably not the most interesting thing in the world, but bear with me. Hades will be more interesting, although I may die quickly. Who knows? I'm at the farthest point that I've ever gotten, so I'm really proud of myself about that. But in-game FPS counter interface. I think yesterday when I searched, I looked specifically for Hades. Hades opening on wrong monitor. Yep, I did. Okay. Right click Hades in your Steam library, select properties. Library. Library. There we go. Go to properties. Use desktop theater. Okay. Press the button that says launch options. We're launching it into space. Advanced users may choose to enter modifications to the launch options. Okay. Launch options. Enter the following. Okay. Oh, may cause it to not display properly. That's not what I'm asking for. Okay. Game opens on wrong monitor. Heading to general question. A bunch of people are saying the same thing. Drag the window to the correct monitor, then deactivate window mode. I tried dragging it to the other monitor last time, and it wasn't doing it. Someone write a code for it. I guess I can try to just restart that again. Shift tab to access community options, settings. Not there. Play. Apparently my puppy watches my stream. Why are you not working? Website feedback, mailing list, soundtrack, store. Don't want to just move everything over because I have everything set up for OBS to be on the other monitor. And I don't know why it randomly changed. Because literally last night it was on the correct monitor. It was fine. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I will probably. Your IT support is leaving, running to the store, made a half a recipe, and realized we had no broth. Nice. I'm gonna end the stream just briefly so that I can actually restart my computer and see if that will magically fix it. Because according to the IT crowd, sometimes you just have to turn it off and on again. So if you are joining us and you want to keep watching, please know I will be back shortly. I really appreciate you being here, trying to get my Twitch viewership up a little bit and get myself out there. We'll play some more games. But for now, we'll be back soon.